The buses have arrived for an Elkhart County rivalry tonight, but when NorthRidge got off the bus, they weren't at full strength. Their starting quarterback, Julius Graber, out with a knee injury. They'll still try to bring the hammer tonight against a NorthWood team that is built on tradition. For 50 years, they have played their games here at Andrews Field, winning a state title in 2005. They'd like another one. It's NorthWood and NorthRidge next on 46. The last summer wind has come blowing in across Napanee, and will it be a wind of change in the Northern Lakes Conference? NorthRidge comes to take on undefeated NorthWood on the 46th game of the week. And how you doing, everybody? Between the Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby, and it's great to have you with us for another exciting evening of high school football on TV 46. The NorthRidge Raiders are sure a different ball club from when we had them on 46 2 weeks ago. You saw in that little tease in the open, Julius Graber out tonight with a knee injury, and he's not alone. It's a banged-up NorthRidge squad.
It really is, Chuck, but the good news is they got on the bus, which means they want to play. And I tell you what, Coach has done a great job this week of keeping the kids centered on playing the best you can. Next man in. They've got guys that have been waiting all year to get a chance to get more minutes. Well, hey, jump in there tonight. Doug Modulin has to have a great game tonight. Crowder has to be a solid player tonight. They've got some names that aren't hurt, and they've got to step up tonight and really carry the weight for the team. Tom Wogelman will have his team ready mentally to play this game tonight.
Man, I tell you what, I know of these guys here, and they might be 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. They are willing to do whatever it takes. And, you know, I think sometimes it's more difficult on a coach than it is what the players, because they are so resilient. I got some guys here that are going to have their chance tonight. You know, Andrew Lockwood's going to play his first start as a sophomore. The kid is ready to go, and so that's a fun thing. There's some painful things about high school football when we lose really quality kids, have to scrape them up off the turf, but there's also some great things about it. It's like, who's ready to step in?
Meanwhile, NorthWood comes in undefeated. They are ranked number 2 in the polls in Class 4A this week. Nate Andrews will tell you, though, the tougher part of their schedule is ahead of them beginning tonight.
He always thinks the next opponent is the toughest team in the state, and that's where you have to approach it. He knows that this team is banged up, but it's like a dog in the corner. You know, they're going to come out and they're going to go after you. They know that Yoder is the guy you really have to stop. He handles probably 70% of their offense, and you've got some strange numbers about him passing and receiving, too, to pass long. The thing is, they've got a fullback who's been playing pretty good, and he's an outstanding kid. His name is Vashon Malone. They've also got a defense that lines up with a bunch of healthy players that know what they're doing. It's going to be a challenge to put points on the board tonight for NorthRidge, but I got a feeling that Nate will have his team ready.
Well, in fact, he says it's been a total team effort.
I think the strength is the consistency. The kiddos have a unique way about them in this team, and that is never getting too high or getting too low. And they have a level-headedness about them. They handle sudden change and adversity really, really well. They even handle the good times well. So it all stems from pretty good leadership.
Bo Hunt joins us on the sidelines again tonight. Bo, when I talked to Nate Andrews earlier this week, he said some of the most fun weeks he had in coaching were those weeks where you really had to rally the troops like Tom Wogelman has to do this week. What would you tell the NorthRidge team this week if you were their coach?
Well, it's one of those things where it's, you know, it's the next man up. It's a team game. It's not an individual game. No one person can carry a full team. So it's who's going to step up. And when you get that opportunity, you have to take advantage of it. You got some young guys that are playing for their first time, getting their first start, as he stated. This is your opportunity. Show the coach all that work that you put in. Show them that you're ready to go. And for all those younger kids that are out there, you're one play away from getting in that lineup. Make sure you're ready.
I'm fired up, Coach. I'll tell you what, both these teams want to make this an earth, wind, and fire night. They want to make the 21st night of September one to remember. We've got the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win next on the 46 Game of the Week.
is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Thor Industries, Bethel College Admissions, Teachers Credit Union, Bill's Heating, Jordan Auto Group, IU South Bend, Electrical Workers Local 153, JV Macri Orthodontics, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome everybody to the Yoder Construction pregame show as we get you ready for NorthRidge and NorthWood, a good old-fashioned Elkhart County rivalry tonight. And we look now at our keys to win, brought to you by the aforementioned Jordan Auto Group. As we look at the NorthRidge Raiders with their quarterback Julius Graber out of the lineup tonight, a lot of the load on offense will fall on the shoulders of Tug Modulin. Boy, he was ready to carry it when we saw him against Plymouth this year. Ran for over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. And he has rushed for 388 yards on 66 carries so far this season. Defensively, Zach Howie, the healthiest of the linebacking core. He's only a sophomore, but he does have 36 tackles so far on the year, and 3 of them for loss. The keys to win for Tom Waugerman and the NorthRidge Raiders.
The Raiders need to really focus on special teams, and special teams must play that way. Return yardage is going to be big. It will determine field position. That'll be crucial in this game. Number 2, they have to get physical where they can. They've got some veterans, and they have to step up tonight. And don't make turnovers. You got to create them, because that could be a crucial statistic in tonight's game. Tom Waugerman in his 6th season at NorthRidge with a record of 40 up and 21 down.
So those are the keys to win for NorthRidge. The Northwood Panthers amassed down in the end zone off to our left, waiting to come out as the scoreboard plays a video montage. And what about their key players? Well, one of them is clearly Bronson Yoder. He's an all-state candidate committed to William & Mary, a force on both sides of the ball. He is their leading passer, their leading receiver, their leading rusher, their leader. And then when it comes time for help for him, they turn to Vashawn Malone. The junior running back has rushed for 127 yards, but he is also one of a terrific set of young linebackers on this team. The keys to win for Nate Andrews' Panthers.
Number 1, they got to establish and maintain their running game, and Vashawn Malone, if he was on a team that didn't have a prolific running quarterback, might be among those looking toward 1,000 yards this season. Clock management will be crucial in that aspect. Execution, the kicking game, they got to limit the return yardage, and the defensive backs must win the 50-50 balls. They work on that daily. They are seeking excellence. It's important to win tonight, continue to build toward what they think is going to be a great season. Nate Andrews in his 5th year already at Northwood High School, a record of 40 wins and 14 losses.
You take a look at Northwood wearing special uniforms tonight to commemorate their 50th anniversary. And a series dominated by these Northwood Panthers. This, the 46th meeting. It'll be on 46, of course. Dates back to 1979. NorthRidge won it, though, last year by a count of 21-14. And Bob, the weather tonight is sponsored by Marian University in Indianapolis, a great Catholic university in a great American city.
Temperature 70 degrees at kickoff. It'll be dropping quickly. We expect it to be down around 60 by the time we're done. Wind is out of the northwest at 15, gusting up to 20 to 22 miles an hour. 0% chance of precipitation. They had that yesterday and last night, but Chuck, we had a bunch of it in South Bend. They just had a little sprinkle here at Northwood.
Captains meeting at midfield for the coin toss. When we come back, it's the opening kickoff. This has been the Yoder Construction pregame show on TV 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Thor Industries, the world's largest RV manufacturer. The NorthRidge Raiders pumped up for this one over on the far sideline. They have taken the option to receive after Northwood won the toss and deferred, and so Northwood will kick off with that 15-mile-an-hour wind at its back.
Not a bad idea. And as we get ready to get underway, I want to thank Bourbon Street Pizza. They fed our crew tonight. They're open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Try the buffalo chicken pizza with sweet baby raised buffalo sauce. tender garlic chicken strips, and mozzarella cheese. Enjoy your favorite pizza, pasta, and wings. Dine in or carry out for delivery. Call 773-9600. We want to thank Bourbon Street Pizza in Napanee for feeding the production crew tonight with great pizza, getting everybody in a real good mood for high school football tonight. NorthWood, as Chuck said, wearing the all-black uniforms, the black crunch to be personified tonight, and NorthRidge in their road white pants, white jerseys, and they've got their black helmets with the green logo on them, and we're just about ready to get underway. And here to call tonight's Northern Lakes Conference Class, my partner, our Family Broadcasting Corporation Sports Director, Chuck Freeby.
The Northwood Panthers will start this game kicking off from their 35-yard line. They took too long getting out onto the field after the coin toss, and so you take a look at Harrison Sanchez, the 5'7" junior who also plays on the soccer team here at Northwood. And he'll be kicking it deep. Justin Puckett waits for it back at his 3-yard line. Sanchez will need a holder with this stiff breeze blowing the ball around tonight. But it is fun to feel a little bit of fall in the air. And Sanchez approaches, toe meets leather, and we are underway in Napanee. One of the upmen takes the ball for NorthRidge and finds a seam all the way up to the 38-yard line. So a nice return that time by NorthRidge. And we've got an injury for Justin Graber for the NorthRidge Raiders. You take a look at him coming off the field last week against Warsaw. The Goshen News providing the photo. And so it is Oliver Evler taking over at quarterback tonight, the 5'9", 150-pound junior, after Bryce Justice returned the opening kickoff.
Had a good pregame meal. I think he might have hit 160, Chuck. We're not sure. We'll check on that. But one thing is he's got an opportunity here to really step up. NorthRidge looking for some heroes tonight.
First quarter tonight brought to us by the Element Masters. Evler hands it off to Dominic Crowder, who picks up about 3 yards on the carry up the middle. 2nd and 7, and we meet the NorthRidge offense. It's brought to us by the Topping Dental Group. You see Crowder getting the start for the injured Cade Lacey. The receivers are all healthy. Ricky Howie getting the start at tackle for the 3rd straight week after Jacob Weber's on crutches. And Brody Burkholder, a 2-year starter and captain on that NorthRidge offense. 2nd and 7 from its own 41. Northwood showing blitz. They did come, and Crowder goes down at the line of scrimmage. Good, firm tackling that time by the Northwood defense, and let's meet them now after Ben Mestock made the tackle. You'll see Jake Lone is the anchor of the defensive line. Braden Michael, the lone senior up front. Good core of linebackers headed up by Nick Bontrager, another senior. They play 5 defensive backs, and while Bronson Yoder hasn't had to do a lot back there this year, Hayden Snyder does have a 100-yard interception return for a touchdown. It's 3rd and 7 from the 41. Evler, his first pass attempt, he wanted to throw, but Brecken Judd got forced out of bounds by the defensive back. Had no chance to make a play on the ball, and that's something Nate Andrews had his team working on at practice this week.
Very effective. You get the guy off the field. He's got to work his way back on, then establish position in order to catch the ball. He was just trying to find his way down that sideline without hitting any of the Northwood Panthers.
So Nolan Laughlin becomes the punter on this team, something that was handled by Julius Graber. Laughlin, a soccer transfer, averaging 36 yards a punt so far, and he comes on to boot this one high and off the side of his foot. Bronson Yoder will have to let it hit. It takes a Northridge roll and dies at the Northwood 35, and that's where the Panthers will take over 1st and 10 with Bronson Yoder at the quarterback.
24-yard net on the punt, and the thing is, Chuck, no return on it. It came awful close to hitting one of the Northwood Panthers. I don't think he knew exactly where the ball was.
Northwood offense brought to us by the Topping Dental Group. We'll talk about Yoder quite a bit tonight, but he's got some weapons around him, including Jaden Miller, who's run for 324 yards. They don't throw the ball a whole lot to their receivers, but the offensive line has been very solid this year, led by a couple of seniors in Josh Miller and Braden Michael. All the offensive linemen are at least 2-sport athletes. Nate Newcomer to Bronson Yoder coming out of the backfield. This will be credited as a run because it was a backwards pass. And Yoder steps out of bounds short of the first down marker after a pickup of 8 at the 43-yard line. We now meet the Northridge defense, brought to us by the Topping Dental Group. Lots of changes on this unit tonight. Ricky Howie and Josh Bate getting starts on the defense tonight in place of injured players. The same is true for Andrew Lockwood making his first start. And here's a hole, and here's a Bronson Yoder run all the way up to the 43-yard line of NorthRidge. So Yoder runs for 14 on this one and gets the first down, sponsored by J&N Stone.
Gain of 14 yards on the play.
NorthWood playing at tempo. Newcomer lines up to take the snap with Yoder off to his left. It's Nate Newcomer on the carry, gets some good blocking, and plows his way to the 37-yard line before Dominic Crowder brings him down after a pickup of 6.
Big chunks already for NorthWood.
2nd and 4, and NorthWood trying to keep a young, inexperienced NorthRidge defense back on its heels right here. Again, Nate Newcomer lining up at quarterback. And Newcomer on play action rolls out, finds his man out in the flat for the first down, sponsored by J&N Stone, up to the 32-yard line. That would be Jaden Miller making the catch, his 4th of the season. You get another copy courtesy of Bethel College Admissions.
Pretty good looking pass, pretty well executed, and that's what they want to just keep doing, moving along in the
Oh, here's a trick play. Newcomer trying to run under it, makes the catch and goes for a touchdown. This was a play that was drawn up by one of the local sponsors of NorthWood football. They won the opportunity to do this at a Black Cat formal this year. And the folks at Burnworth Zollers are giving high fives all around because it's a touchdown for NorthWood, sponsored by Napanee Family Eye Care.
Wow. Well executed.
The touchdown pass thrown by Tanner Feenstra. And it was hauled in by Nate Newcomer. His 3rd catch of the year, goes for 6. And the Panthers are on the board. They'll go for 2 more. Razzle-dazzle. Jaden Miller into the end zone. 2-point conversion to Bronson Yoder. And just like that, NorthWood is on the board, 8-0. So again, to explain on this trick play, Bob, a local sponsor came over, designed this play for the kids on Monday. They installed it, practiced it all week, and you're going to see NorthWood execute it to perfection with Tanner Feenstra throwing to Nate Newcomer.
A lot of guys on this team that say, Coach, I can throw the ball. Feenstra set himself. What a catch.
We may have to break this one down in the 46 film room on Wednesday because it was executed to perfection.
And Newcomer is such a good athlete in that NorthWood lineup. Folks, stop by and visit your new neighbor, the Pretty Cakery in downtown Napanee. Made from scratch. Enjoy cupcakes, cookies, macaroons, pies made with their signature all-butter pastry dough. Their crust is outstanding. Special order custom cakes and more. The Pretty Cakery, now open in Napanee. I'll be right back.
Our social media and live stream tonight being brought to us by our friends at the First State Bank. Person Sanchez gets to kick this one from the 40 this time.
Yep.
And the ball once again blows off the tee.
The Element Masters in Middlebury is your authorized train dealer serving all of Michiana. They install, maintain, and repair heating, cooling, and ventilation products, making your home a comfortable place for life to happen. They also offer 24/7 emergency services. The Element Masters. Call them at 574-825-8824.
Justin Puckett picks up the fumble, but can't advance it to the 20-yard line. Good pursuit on the kickoff by NorthWood. As we take another look at the 2-point conversion, you thought the touchdown was fancy. This almost put that to shame.
Double reverse. Oh, he's going to run it. Wait a minute. There's somebody wide open.
And
Catch that way.
Miller finds Bronson Yoder easily for that one.
Well, that's what your head coach is hoping for. Execution, execution.
NorthWood has had it, and now a NorthRidge team that has faced a ton of adversity this week finds itself trailing by 8 early in this one. The handoff to Tug Modulin, nowhere to go as the Black Crunch defense collapsed on him. It was Jake Lone making the initial hit that time for the defensive line spot. Lone and Borkholder along that front line. very solid tandem.
No gain on the play.
So it's 2nd down and 10. Evler trying to get his offensive back set. Modglin found a seam. He's got good speed, and it was a sure tackle by Nick Bontrager that brought him down. Bontrager had 6 stops in the win against Goshen, and he is the leader among the linebacking core in stops this season.
3-yard gain on the play. It was close to being a bunch more, but as you said, Chuck, wasn't a shoestring tackle. He had leather and he had part of the leg, and down he went.
And now Evler facing the 3rd and 7. Tom Wagaman showed confidence in his young quarterback early on, asking him to throw, and Brecken Judd got pushed out the sideline. Let's see what NorthRidge tries to do here. Evler wants to throw, steps up, has a man out there. Aiden Berger makes the catch. Aiden Berger all the way down to the 40, still on his feet to the 38. It's a 1st down. That's a nice 41-yard pickup for NorthRidge on a beautiful connection with Evler throwing that ball into the wind, and Berger caught it in stride.
Outstanding pass, outstanding catch. Defense got there in time to make the stop, but wow, what an impressive pass there.
For Berger, the 6'3" senior, just his 3rd reception of the season. Now trips to the right, but they come up the middle with Crowder. And Crowder bulls his way to the 35-yard line to pick up a 3. They really like how Dominic Crowder has run the football, of 210-pound sophomore.
Our Yoder Construction, providing traditional hands-on expertise with the latest in construction technology. Your building project will be complete on time and within budget. Whether it's your new home or business, our Yoder Construction is dedicated to exceeding your expectations. Visit ouryoderconstruction.com for your next building project.
2nd and long for the Raiders, who send twins to each side of young junior Oliver Evler. Evler steps up, hits the hot receiver, and it's close to the 1st down. Austin Floria making his 8th grab of the year as the 5'8" junior stepped into the gap left by the NorthWood defense and is 2 yards short of the 1st down marker.
I like the fact that they're going with their playbook, Chuck. They're not backing off.
Well, if you don't open it up a little bit, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt against this NorthWood team, which has been very good against the run this season. Modglin in motion, jet sweep. They had success with this against Plymouth, but Bronson Yoder says not tonight and stops him 1.5 yards short of the 4th down marker. I would think at this point of the field, Tom Wagaman's going to go for it.
Again, if you had your quarterback in there, if Graber was a quarterback, you have to respect his running ability to the other side. Might not have changed what happened there with Yoder making a sure tackle, but let's see if they don't call Evler's number one of these times.
NorthRidge is 4 for 13 on 4th down this season, looking at a 4th and 1. And lining up with Evler under center. They go behind the center, Brody Burkholder, and a little bush push from Dominic Crowder may have gotten him the 1st down.
Like the call.
You've got a 2-year starter and a captain at center. You ask him to move some people out of the way, you put the young quarterback behind him, and you pick up the 1st down.
An impressive response from NorthRidge to that early touchdown by NorthWood.
Burkholder missed the game last week and said it just agonized him to stand on the sidelines. 1st and 10 at the 27. Evler steps into it. He wants Berger for the touchdown. He couldn't come up with the 50-50 ball. It was broken up out there on a nice play by NorthWood. Brock Lehman, the cornerback, was with him stride for stride.
Good point, too, partner, about the 50-50 ball. These are the ones they said, are going to be crucial in the ball game, and defender had good position inside.
2nd and 10 now for NorthRidge. At the NorthWood 27, trailing 8-0.
You feel like they've got 3 downs to pick up 10. They would be kicking into the wind, so that would be a problem.
Evler, another pass out into the flat, finds Berger. 1st down into NorthWood territory to the 15-yard line. And the combination of Evler and Berger proving very productive on this drive.
Outstanding pass and catch that time. Gain of 12 yards.
Twins in the backfield with Evler. And it's Tug Modglin on the carry. He takes a licking and dives forward, still short of the original line of scrimmage. Terrific pursuit that time by the Northwood defense. Jaden Miller, the junior defensive back, leading the charge, a three-sport athlete.
Can be lost on the play of a good solid yard. That's first negative yardage play.
Northwood has not given up a touchdown in the first quarter this year. They have outscored their opponents now 65-3 in the first quarter this season. There's still 4:43 on the clock here in quarter number 1 with a 2nd and 11. Evler looking right, airing it out and underthrows it. Great catch, touchdown NorthRidge. Josh Beard goes up and hauls that one in, his 4th grab of the year, and the Raiders are on the board. What a throw by Evler, and Nate Anders told you this week 50-50 balls would be huge. Beard goes up and wins this one right over the top of Hayden Snyder.
4:26 left to go here in the first quarter, and we've got ourselves a ball game.
Nolan Laughlin on to try the extra point, sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. The kick is up, and it is good. 4:28 to go in the first quarter, and Northridge responds to adversity with success. Josh Beard goes up, makes the grab, and puts the Raiders on the board here on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you by Indiana University South Bend, fulfilling the promise. Fans making some noise on both sides of this one tonight, but the Raider faithful have to be very happy with what they saw from their team on that drive.
So impressed on the drive. They went 82 yards in 11 plays, picked up 4 first downs, and they passed the ball extremely well. It took 4:48 off the clock. We've got an 8-7 ball game here at Northwood.
So there you take a look at Josh Beard, his first touchdown of the year, probably the first of his Northridge career, as the 6-foot junior made a good grab. And now Nolan Laughlin gets ready for the Stutzman Power Equipment kickoff. But Mr. Dangerous is back deep for Northwood. His name is Bronson Yoder. Let's see if they kick it deep to him. Laughlin, onside kick attempt. It goes 10 yards. Not sure it did. Not sure it made 10 yards. It was touched by a Northridge player as it was dying. Brandon Mahoney made the stop, but where the linesman came in, it is short of the 50-yard line, and it's going to be Northwood football there. Boy, what a gutty play by Tom Wagaman.
The linesman on this side of the field was trying desperately to reach in and find his yellow flag. As it is a violation. Didn't go 10 yards, and the ball belongs to Northwood. You got to love it.
Tom Wagaman shaking his head because he says, doggone it, we had this play if the ball goes 10 yards. Here you see it. It's got to get to that 50-yard line mark, and watch where Mahoney touches it. He had no choice. He had a body come in on top of him, but he touched it short of the 50.
Which is good awareness, really, for Northwood as well.
And actually, they marked the ball all the way back at the Northridge 48, so now you've given Northwood plus field position.
Which might have resulted after a couple of first downs anyway, so you took your shot.
Bronson Yoder round the left side. He's got blocking, and Yoder is running down the field to the end zone. Touchdown, Northwood. We weren't kidding you, folks. He's phenomenal.
Well, it makes it easy to keep stats, partner. The drive went 48 yards in one play.
And the only reason it was only 48 is that's all the farther he had to go. The touchdown sponsored by Napanee Family Eye Care. And now Herson Sanchez will come on to line up for the extra point. Sanchez 14 of 18 on kicks this year.
Well, the coaching was, he was very prolific when he said it's going to be really important tonight, special teams.
High snap, kick is up, it is good. 4:18 to go first quarter, and Northwood with an 8-point lead. And it's just a convoy that gets in front of Bronson Yoder here, Bob.
And he just keeps breaking tackles. You know, they had guys hitting. 1,
Not
2,
a whole lot, though.
3, 4. You can't push him on the way to the end zone, son. You got to make a tackle.
And Yoder, who's committed to go to William and Mary, looks like a college man out there on the field.
The drive, by the way, took 8 seconds.
So plenty to cheer about these days at Northwood. The Panthers 5-0 and a prolific scoring team at 45 points a game.
70 yards rushing on 3 carries so far for Yoder tonight.
Well, he was one of the top 4 of the area coming in on a night where you'll see running backs be prolific. And talking to people around both programs this week, the NorthRidge players so respectful of Bronson Yoder and his abilities. The Northwood players and coaches couldn't say enough about him, but it's not about him when you talk to him. It's always about the team, the team, the team. Sanchez with a kickoff. It'll be taken back at the 10-yard line. Bryce Justice trying to come up the field, gets to the 34, and that's where the Raiders will have it 1st and 10, and there's another Northridge player slow to get up, and that's Colton Puckett hobbling off the field.
Nelson's Banquet Hall is currently being remodeled with a new addition. In the near future, the new hall will be the perfect place to host your elegant wedding and other receptions, company holiday celebrations, and much more. Don't forget to check in soon to see Nelson's 2018 holiday menu specials at nelsonsbbq.com.
Well, Northridge had success with the passing game despite going into the wind here in the first quarter, and we'll see what Tom Wagaman decides to do here with his team down by 8 in the first quarter. Just one back this time. It's Dominic Crowder as they line up Tug Modulin off to the right of Evler and bring him in motion. It's a flag thrown on the play as Crowder picks up a couple, and we'll get to meet our officiating crew for tonight's game. David Barnes, the white hat, along with Chris Kiersky, Brian Demland, Troy Jester, and Brandon Schremick.
Illegal procedure, the call, 5-yard penalty against Northridge, their first penalty of the night. Northwood had one before we even got underway.
So they'll talk it over with Northwood, and Northwood indicating that they want to take the penalty, which will make it 1st and 15.
Folks, check out 41 Degrees North in downtown Middlebury, featuring great burgers, brews, and craft cocktails. Go Northridge Raiders from your friends at 41 Degrees North.
So now 1st and 15 for Northridge. Back at the 28-yard line. Evler steps up, hits his man coming across. Austin Floria hangs on for the grab at the 34-yard line. That'll make it 2nd and 9. Floria's second catch of the night. In fact, he's had a catch in every game this year for Northridge.
4 out of 6 now. 64 yards passing in this ball game. That includes the touchdown pass. So Evler, looking like he's, as Coach Wogelman told us, he's a quality young man. He's just a sophomore, but he knows what he's doing out there.
Well, Tom Wogelman used to getting the backup quarterback ready. We'll tell you about that in a minute. Pass to Aiden Berger. He catches it on the deflection. Had to go back to the 39-yard line to do it, so he'll be short of the first down, 3rd and 4. But Bo Hunt, as we look at the replay, let's come to you for a Bill's Heating sideline report. And Tom Wogelman was talking about the problems he's had keeping quarterbacks healthy over the last few years before the game.
Yeah, we talked about that. It seemed like for the last 4 years, he hasn't had one quarterback go the whole year without getting hurt and missing some game time. And he said that's just such a struggle. And he goes, the players, they take it really well. But as a coach, he goes, he just struggles because they just mean so much to him. And they're just like his own kids. And he just feels for those kids. Guys?
Evler on a quarterback draw gets the first down up to midfield. I am very impressed with this young man in the first quarter.
And equally impressed with the play calling, Chuck. They called his number. He had wide receivers out both sides. They were coming after him, and guess what? He wasn't there.
Evler, who has been the starting safety for this Northridge team throughout the year and still doing that tonight. But looking like he took a crash course in how to beat Julius Graber here.
13 yards on the carry. They're near midfield again. Time of possession has got to be favoring Northridge. Of course, that's because Northwood scored so fast. But
although I will say he's thrown the ball a lot more than Julius Graber has this year as he watches from the sideline, and they'll hand it off. Dominic Crowder really had to work hard to get those 3 yards up the middle. It is tough sledding when you go up against this Northwood defense.
Going to give him a gain of about a yard on the play. Well, they call it 2.
Bashan Malone on the tackle that time, the 5'8" junior with his 16th stop of the season.
5 yards on 5 carries for Modulin. Obviously, he's the target of their defense tonight. That's why they've had success throwing the ball, had success going to some other people, including number 1 you see right there, Crowder.
Now Northridge trying to bleed that play clock as much as possible, and I think Tom Wangerman's going to take a timeout here to make sure everybody's on the same page. We'll keep it here and hear from maybe one of our sponsors.
J&N Stone and the Loniger family wish the Panthers good luck tonight and through the remainder of the season. Jack and Nadine are proud supporters of Northwood and the entire Wanee community, and they take pride in their customer service. J&N Stone, handcrafted, nature-inspired stone veneer.
A lot of Northern Lakes Conference fans watching this game tonight will be rooting against Northwood. Why? Well, a look at the Northern Lakes Conference standings will tell you why, because they're the only undefeated team in the conference. And look at the number of teams with 1 loss waiting in the wings. Oh, including Bart Curtis and the Warsaw Tigers, and we'll see them here in 2 weeks on 46.
And we want to say hi to Bart because we know he'll be watching this game. But congratulations on great success there at Warsaw already. And he came in there and put the defense together. They've been very accomplished, and the offense is really coming along.
Want to make a note. Look at Memorial down there in 6th place with 3 conference losses, all of them by a touchdown or less. That's not a bad football team over on California Road.
And they've gotten better. They were very young. We had them against Central to start our season here on TV 46, and they were very, very young. And, well, if dogs will bite when they're puppies, they'll bite when they're older, and they bit a little bit.
Thank you, Bill Sharp.
Thank you very much.
2nd and 8. Evler steps into this one, and that route wasn't run properly apparently, or he just wanted to throw it away because Bronson Yoder was the closest man to it.
I think that might have been one of his best passes of the night. He wasn't open. He had double coverage down there, and he threw it well over the top of everybody.
Closest receiver was Aiden Berger. He was close enough to keep it from being intentional grounding, but it'll be 3rd and 8. The problem for Northridge is the clock stops on these incomplete passes.
Well, again, they're well out of field goal range. I like the idea that Tom Wogelman will have them use 2 downs to get it here. Let's see if they don't come with some kind of a draw, something a little bit delayed.
Northwood running a stunt here. Evler will keep it himself, and Bashan Malone wraps him up at the 46-yard line. And a timeout will be taken by Northwood with 1:09 to go in the first quarter. They want to force Northridge to punt into the wind.
Not a bad idea, but it makes it 4th down. Let's see if, well, Northwood called a timeout, so it should be a chance for them to get that result.
And the timeout is sponsored by the Pretty Cakery. As you see, Old Glory is starched tonight. That's more than a gentle zephyr at 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's been gusting up to about 22, we're told. So that flag located well out of the east end zone here. But what a beautiful display here at Northwood High School. Folks, Thor Industries loves this time of year because the team pride is on full display. That team culture from Friday night sidelines extends to our Thor Industries team. They build your future right here in Elkhart with one of Thor's excellent career opportunities. Get started today at thorindustries.com.
Northwood wearing black and gold tonight. Another team that does it is the Purdue Boilermakers, and they're looking for their first win of the year when they take on Boston College Saturday afternoon. Kickoff at noon at Ross-Ade Stadium. We'll have it for you on Pulse FM 92.1, 96.9, and 103.1. Boston College ranked number 23 this week. Nolan Laughlin lines up in punt formation for Northridge. His punt sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment, but it is a fake punt and it works. Dominic Crowder takes it across the 40-yard line to the 39. Oh, the wily Tom Walkerman going into the bag of tricks tonight.
Needed 6. He got 7 on the first down inside the 40 to the 39. And almost a mishandle here by Crowder, but he hangs on. And look at the leverage he's got, and he plows right into defenders. That's what got him the first down.
He is a strong young man. Nate Newcomer made the tackle, but not until Crowder picks up the first down, and that allows NorthRidge to keep it for another set of downs here in NorthWood territory. Evler looking towards Brecken Judd, now pulls it down and has nowhere to go. The NorthWood defense comes in around him. Jake Lone had him by the back of the jersey and helped pull him down.
He lost about 4 yards on the sack.
Lone used to those takedowns. He was number 8 in the state at 170 pounds last year, went 38-7 and was the regional champion. And that's going to do it for the first quarter here at Jim Andrews Field. A first quarter that fared pretty well in terms of providing highlights in this one. The end zone got dented a couple of times. First, a little bit of razzle-dazzle from Tanner Feenstra, finding Nate Newcomer on a throwback play to hit the NorthWood quarterback for a touchdown into the end zone. They then had NorthRidge go to Josh Beard, but then Bronson Yoder got loose and took it 48 yards to pay dirt. It's NorthWood by 8 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week brought to you by Bethel College Admissions, equipping for lifelong service. We're equipped to bring you sideline reports thanks to Bill's Heating. We go downstairs. Bo Hunt, what is that you're wearing?
The temperatures have definitely dropped since game time. The wind has a factor with that as well, but jackets are starting to go on in the stands. Jackets are starting to come on. Some people stand on the sidelines down here. So the temperatures are dropping. As a football player, you actually kind of like that. You like to play in a little bit colder of a temperature. Your body temperature can come down. You're not going to get dehydrated as much. You're not going to cramp as much. We saw that the last few weeks, a lot of cramping going on. I don't foresee a lot of cramping going on tonight, guys.
And flags thrown and whistles blown. It's going to be a false start here on NorthRidge, which will cost him another 5 yards. Bo, while we've got you for a moment, your thoughts on the first quarter?
As we talked about, Bronson Yoder, he carried the NorthWood Panther there. They had a couple trick plays very well, but what a running back he is. We talked numerous about him playing not only offense, but plays defense as well. You can see he just came in on the sidelines. What surprised me mostly was NorthRidge and their passing attack. Didn't really see that coming, and if they were going to pass, we didn't know really how effective they're going to be, but Everly, what a great job and great start he's had so far to this game.
Yeah, Oliver Evler having a great first quarter. We'll see if he can duplicate it here in the second. He's looking at 2nd and 20, and another flag on NorthRidge.
Check the yardage in the first quarter, just about even at about 100 yards per team. Obviously, NorthWood didn't have as far to go.
And actually, this flag is on NorthWood for encroachment, so that'll be 5 yards, and it's 2nd and 15. You look at Nate Andrews there on the NorthWood sideline, a 1996 NorthWood graduate. You know who one of his student teachers was when Nate Andrews was in middle school?
No.
Fellow on the other sideline by the name of Tom Wagaman, who was his 8th grade phys ed teacher as a student teacher.
Wow.
Here's Evler ducking away from one tackler. He's tackled from behind up at the 38-yard line. Again, it's Jake Lone on the stop as the junior nose tackle shows some speed. And a pretty good pump fake here from Oliver Evler was able to get him loose.
Evler's got some nice speed, doesn't he?
He deceived Lone with the fake, and Lone got him back from behind. That's the kind of speed that Jake Lone has at the nose tackle position. It's 3rd and 9. Trips to the top of your screen. Evler looks, finds his man. That's Beard with the catch just short of the first down at the 30. It sets up a very makeable 4th and 1 for NorthRidge.
Needed 9.
Got 8.
Got 8.
Not only for the reception, but the yardage.
6 out of 9 now, 77 yards passing.
Earlier in the game, they put Evler right up under the center and had him plow forward behind Brody Burkholder for the first down. Let's see what Tom Wagaman calls for here. Play clock down to 7. Evler in the gun, steps up, finds Floria. First down, up to the 23. Just a little pitch and catch, and it's been there all night for NorthRidge.
Gain of 5 and a first down.
Floria's third grab of the night, and Evler has been on the money with his throws this evening. You said 7 of 10 now?
7 of 10, 82 yards, and some big third down and fourth down conversions. Chuck, I've been waiting to see maybe a wrinkle in his armor as far as being the quarterback and having to handle this challenge at NorthWood. I don't think it exists. I think he's ready.
That is the third fourth down conversion for NorthRidge tonight. 1st and 10 from the Panther 23. Evler to Floria. Why not? It was open a moment ago. It's open here for 5 yards. You take what the defense gives you. Nick Bontrager on the tackle, and a flag comes in late.
I think there might have been a face mask in there, partner. His head swung around pretty sharply when he was going down. Let's see if the call is that.
It only looked like Linda Blair.
Linda never played here, did she?
Personal foul face mask. Good eyes, Robert. And that's going to be another first down for NorthRidge.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a world-class metal finishing company specializing in plating, coating, testing, and consulting services. 59 years as a knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Reach us at info@iftworldwide.com.
1st and goal from the 9. They give it off to Crowder, bowling his way towards the end zone. Yoder popped it loose, but Evler pounced on it back at the 8-yard line. Bronson Yoder just kept prying and prying at that football. Finally got it loose from Dominic Crowder, very similar to the Elohi Gilman play in the Notre Dame game last week. But Yoder couldn't control it, and Oliver Evler was right there.
Well, that was a fortuitous flop there for Evler.
So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. 3 receivers off to the top of your screen. Evler running that way, tried to weave his way through traffic and tripped up at the 5-yard line.
Chuck, we've talked a lot about the injury to Graber, the quarterback, but there have been some other injuries. And when you look at the blocking schemes that NorthRidge has, every once in a while you see maybe not quite the block you needed, and maybe that's one of the other players that's not in there.
Jason Borkholder was able to fight off the block that time and make the tackle for NorthWood. Another 3-sport athlete. Very strong young man who squats 405. So 3rd and goal from the 6. NorthWood showing blitz. Low snap. Evler steps up in the hole but has nowhere to go and lost 3 on the play. And decision time for Tom Wagaman. I think he's going to turn to his kicker, Nolan Laughlin, right here. You want to make sure you get 3 points out of this. Brody Burkholder has done a pretty good job most of the night, but that snap by him that time threw off the play. So Laughlin will come on to try a 27-yard field goal. His long on the year came against Wawasee, a 34-yard.
Got some good wind at his back here.
And it's on the proper hash form. The kick is up, and it is right down the middle and good. So 7:49 to go before halftime. And the NorthRidge Raiders fighting valiantly. Another long scoring drive puts 3 on the board, and they pulled within 5. It's NorthWood 15, NorthRidge 10. You're watching high school football on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. At field goal by NorthRidge, sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. The second quarter sponsored by the Element Masters. It's a big old possum hunting moon in the sky tonight over Jim Andrews Field.
Chuck, that drive by NorthRidge got a field goal. Started at their own 39. 8:29 off the clock in that one drive. That'll be an impressive stat at halftime, the time of possession.
Well, that's what's helping keep NorthRidge in this football game right now, because NorthWood has been electric every time they've touched the football.
NorthWood tonight so far. They had a 5-play drive and a 1-play drive, and it's been it.
Laughlin's kickoff, sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment, taken at the 1 by Bronson Yoder. Bronson Yoder up the middle of the field. Bronson Yoder to the 43-yard line, make it the 42, a 41-yard kickoff return. And that was not Yoder that time. That looks like Sellers returned that kickoff.
No, I was going to say, if it was Yoder, who wants to get in front of that freight train, but it was number 3.
Kyle Sellers, the son of Northwood Athletic Director Norm Sellers, 5'6" sophomore, had a 100-yard rushing game last week, and he came up with a nice run there.
Pretty good field position for Northwood.
It's Yoder in the shotgun, taking it himself and taking a couple licks before he gets wrapped up by Brandon Mahoney and the rest of the NorthRidge defense. Mahoney, the 6-foot senior, with a solid tackle that time.
Yoder, I think, picked up, maybe they're going to give him 1 yard on the carry, which ironically is probably the shortest carry he's had all season. 71 yards on 4 carries tonight.
Well, it's second down from the 43-yard line. Midway through the second quarter. Look at this formation in front of Yoder. And they'll just pop it here to Jaden Miller, and Miller trying to get around the outside, gets by tacklers and has the first down, sponsored by J&N Stone. Quite the rugby scrum, out of bounds at the Northwood 46, or NorthRidge 46.
Yeah, those are arm tackles, and that's not going to work against this team. They're so fundamentally sound, good body lean going forward. And that is, watch how many people get in contact with them, and there's 1, 2, 3, he kept going.
But nobody around the legs, as you mentioned. Now Bronson Yoder steaming forward, lost the football, but he lost it on the sideline at the 40, and it's a 6-yard pickup for the Northwood quarterback. Yoder, a young man who is the sectional champion on the 4x100 relay team and the long jump. Nate Andrews says he is highly competitive. He had 170 yards rushing last week in the win over Wawasee. His team up by 5, 2nd and 4. Yoder keeps it himself and has room to run. Goodbye, they will not catch him. Touchdown, Northwood. Bronson Yoder on a 40-yard sprint to pay dirt, and the Panthers are back up by 2 scores.
Amazing how quickly he is totally gone in it. Man, he makes that step into the secondary, and you get guys trying to find an angle. There is no angle on him.
He is the living definition of even and leaving. Touchdown sponsored by Napanee Family Eye Care. The extra point is up and no good. It fell short of the crossbar, and so with 6:24 to go before halftime. 21-10 Northwood, and we'll give you not 1 but 2 looks from Bethel College admissions. Beautiful blocking up front that time. Braden Marshall had a block to help spring him free. And let's see if we see anything more from down below.
Well, you're just going to see, again, he makes the move. They peel off. They got the hole open, and good effort there by the secondary to try to find a way to bring him down, but Yoder's too tough right there. Folks, when it's time to replace your windows and doors, call Quality Window and Door just south of the US 20 bypass on County Road 32. A family-owned and operated business since 1997. A big shout out to Northwood Panther Hayden Snyder, number 10, and the rest of the Black Crunch. Quality Window and Door. Quality is in their name.
That is the 13th rushing touchdown of the season for Bronson Yoder. He had 4 of his touchdowns against Fairfield this year. But the thing about him, take a look at that tattoo. You see that tattoo down there on his arm? Well, that is a road to signify the journey. Up on the shoulder is the sun, indicating God's light and guidance. On the inside of the bicep, he has Romans 1:16, for I am not ashamed of the gospel. That ties in with some of the rappers like Lecrae and KB and Tripoli. I know you're familiar with them. But
absolutely.
He said that tattoo on the inside of the bicep was the one that hurt the most. The tattoo that he wears took 6 hours.
Man.
Herson Sanchez gets ready to kick it, and again, the ball blown off the tee.
John's Butcher Shop was established in 1941 and is a family-owned, old-fashioned meat market specializing in seasoned prime rib steaks and their award-winning smoked products, including summer sausage, snack sticks, and jerky. Visit them in Napanee or at johnsbutchershop.com for a list of weekly specials.
Kickoff taken at the 6 by Justin Puckett. He weaves his way through traffic and works his way to the 34, and a flag comes in late from the far side.
Doing a pretty good job on the returns tonight are the NorthRidge Raiders.
It is something that NorthRidge spends a lot of time on in practice. We featured them on the 46 film room a couple of weeks ago for a big kickoff return against Plymouth. Here's one more look at the tattoos there for Bronson Yoder, of course, the football helmet, because, well, he really likes football. He also has a tattoo on his chest of Matthew. He says that at some point he wants to go down the whole length of the arm because he wants to be just like our producer-director, Joe Fertina.
Is that right? Nice. While they figured this out, we'll tell you that KEY Boutique in downtown Napanee has placed a stop for their newest fall arrivals, which include everyday basics, ankle boots, premium denim, and accessories. They sell girl sizes and XS to 3X for women. Head over there to their online store, shop Key Boutique at Head over to their online store, shopkeyboutique.com, where there is always free shipping.
After the NorthWood penalty, NorthRidge takes over at the 44-yard line, and they'll give it to Dominic Crowder, and that's one of his better runs of the night, right behind the middle of that interior line. He picks up 8 yards, and now NorthRidge wants to pick up the tempo a little bit with 6 minutes to go in the first half. Of course, you can come up to the line of scrimmage and stand there for a long time.
Absolutely.
And that appears to be what Tom Wagaman wants to do here with this quarterback, Oliver Evler. Looking at a 2nd and 2 from the NorthWood 48. Evler hands it off. Crowder bells his way to the first down at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10.
Yoder Stutzman Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been serving Napanee and the surrounding area since 1969. They're committed to what they do and are here to serve you for your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Yoder Stutzman Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, building lasting solutions.
NorthRidge coming out with a very aggressive game plan against this NorthWood defense, mainly because Tom Wagaman figured his offense would have to score a lot of points to stay in the game. Well, he's been right, because NorthWood has scored every time they've touched the ball on offense tonight. Evler steps up, fires, has his man up to the 41-yard line. They're going to say that's where the knee went down for Aiden Berger. Berger, a 6'3 senior who's also a fine lacrosse player for NorthRidge. That's a growing program over there in Middlebury.
Another gain of about 5 yards passing, and they've been able to capitalize on taking what is being given. 92 yards passing in the first half.
They have not gone to the leading receiver for the year tonight, Brecken Judd. He's down at the bottom of your screen right before the Thor Industries scoreboard. They'll hand it off to Dominic Crowder again, and Crowder gets 2 yards on the carry to set up a 3rd and 4. 4 downs at a time, just fine with Tom Wagaman. So 3rd down and 4 from the NorthWood 39. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll have our Nelson's Catering and Fundraising halftime report featuring our TCU student athletes and halftime scores and highlights, or stats and highlights. Well, if you're on Facebook Live, you'll get scores too.
Absolutely.
Evler pumps, now he's in trouble. Bontrager chasing him, and Evler throws it away.
Another really good incompletion. This kid's a heady player, isn't he?
He was trying to get something out there to Aiden Berger, but he put it in a place where either Berger was going to catch it or nobody, and it turned out to be nobody. And on 4th down, let's see how much of a gambling man Tom Wagaman is.
Middlebury Community Schools, a top achieving school district. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
Northridge has yet to fail on 4th down. Wagaman standing right next to the head linesman, which makes me think that he'll take the play clock down as far as it will go, even though the clock's not running, and call a timeout. And that's exactly what he did. The timeout sponsored by the Pretty Cakery.
Well, no question, the best performance in this first half has been the running of Bronson Yoder. What do you average when you got 117 yards and 6 carries?
A lot. In fact, Bronson Yoder has been impressive all over the field tonight. By the way, that's 19.5 yards a carry.
Thank you very much.
Here he is, just carrying tacklers with him, and then, well, if you don't tackle him, he's going to make you pay. 48-yard touchdown right here as he squirts away. And then he got that little seam a moment ago and took it 40 yards, so 19.5 yards a carry. Pretty good stiff arm there. And when he's tapping the chest, he's not tapping himself. He's tapping that Matthew 23 tattoo on his chest.
Well, he's an impressive young man, no question about that. Folks, if you had a crazy week, let Dutch Cleaning Service take care of your cleaning for you, offering business and residential cleaning one time or on a schedule. Dutch Cleaning Service, now hiring. Visit them on Facebook to find out more. That's Dutch Cleaning Service.
Oliver Evler has been money on 4th down tonight. He'll step up and load this one down deep down the sideline, overthrew his man. And it'll be NorthWood taking over on downs. Berger was out there, had a step on the defender, but they couldn't connect. And NorthWood will take over on downs, trying to pad this 11-point lead.
3:40 to go. Yeah, that's plenty of time for Northwood. Their last drive took 8 seconds. Well, the one before that, the one play drive. Last one, well, that one took a minute 25.
And that was their longest drive of the night. So it'll be Bronson Yoder leading the team out onto the field. Jaden Miller in the backfield along with Vashawn Malone. But it's Yoder keeping it himself, coming around the side, breaks a tackle, and finally brought down by Mahoney, the linebacker, close to the 1st down marker. They'll spot it at the 48-yard line. It's a 1st down sponsored by J&N Stone. By the way, we want to thank the folks at Quality Window and Door for sponsoring the NorthWood defense tonight. Here's a reverse, Jaden Miller, and nowhere to go. He got bulldogged down that time, as making the tackle for Northridge was Cole Berger, the defensive tackle, an honor roll student. And he learned his lessons well, but we've got a flag on the play. Holding against NorthWood, and I bet you this one will be declined.
It might be. You got a pretty good loss there, about 6 yards. Folks, get all your outdoor projects done with tools and equipment sold and serviced locally by Stutzman Power Equipment, specializing in Kubota, Steel, Toro, Simplicity, and Skag. Check out their website at stutzmanpower.com. Stutzman Power Equipment, where service is their #1 product, and they're proud to support high school athletics.
It is 2nd and 16. NorthWood all the way back at its own 43. And now the officials are going to talk things over, and the officials are saying it's 3rd down, and they're absolutely...
That's what I got. 8 on 1st down, -6 on 2nd down. -8, actually.
Well, that's still... I think NorthWood lost it down there. Nate Newcomer faking. Nate Newcomer running. Nate Newcomer's got the 1st down. Up to the 41-yard line. It's sponsored by J&N Stone.
18-yard carry and a big carry that time. That's 24 yards tonight for Newcomer.
Newcomer had over 100 yards rushing against Goshen, and a timeout taken by Northridge with 3 minutes to go before halftime, trailing by 11.
First State Bank is proud to offer school spirit debit cards to students, and they're donated over $100,000 to local schools. Contact them for all your mortgage needs. They offer competitive and customizable mortgage products to help you reach your dreams of home ownership. Learn more online. Visit Safe and Secure at Be First Bank.
Well, next Friday night, we will make the pilgrimage over to TCU Freed Field for the most anticipated game so far this season in the Northern Indiana Conference. And there have been some good ones, but everybody wants to see how New Prairie will do in its first venture ever against the Penn Kingsmen. You'll see it too, Friday night at 11, Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports, TV 46.
New Prairie got bumped up to the Big Boy League, the bigger schools, the North Division of the NIC, and, well, they've got a big school. You know, that's a growing community out there in New Carlisle. I'm proud that my daughter is a part of it now, she and her husband.
And certainly a far more competitive division for Russ Radke's Cougars to be in. The NIC making the swap with New Prairie moving to the north and Clay, despite its enrollment numbers, moving to the south. And that is the best news for both those programs.
Certainly is.
Nate Andrews on the left, Tom Wagaman on the right, both of them with 40 wins at their current schools. Nate has been at Northwood 5 years, Tom at NorthRidge 6. This is Bronson Yoder on the carry, and Yoder squeezes his way to the 32-yard line. He'll be short of the first down, but not by much. It'll be 2nd and inches.
133 yards rushing in the first half for Yoder and 24 for newcomers. So that quarterback position at about 160 yards.
Rashawn Malone lined up to the right of Bronson Yoder, but it's Yoder stopping, throwing, Jaden Miller, touchdown Northwood. Yoder's first pass of the night is his 3rd touchdown toss of the year. Miller hauling in his 2nd touchdown aerial, and that one went for 32 yards.
Well, when Northridge didn't get the first down, you knew that Northwood had enough time to try to get on the board again, and they put together a pretty good drive. Still 2:26 to go.
The touchdown sponsored by Napanee Family Eye Care. Person Sanchez on to try the extra point. It is up and it is good. 2:26 before the intermission. And Northwood now with a 28-10 on Northridge, as you'll get a couple of looks from Bethel College admission. Yoder sold the run beautifully and pulled up to make the pass.
Didn't have to sell it very hard because they totally expected him to be running the football. And again, roll out to the right, everybody sold it. Defensive backs doing what they can, but that's how they score because they run the ball so well. That's how New Prairie scores on a pass because nobody expects it to come. Mishawaka the same way. And you get balanced teams like St. Joe, Elkhart Central. We saw a good one last week, but this is what makes them so effective.
And there you see Bronson Yoder's mom in the stands. She was showing off her sweatshirt to us earlier. On the back, it does not say Yoder. It says Burner because, well, that's what Bronson Yoder is when he takes off running. He's a burner. And so that's his nickname on this Northwood football team. And it's great to be in a water tower town tonight, as Scotty McCreary likes to sing. Nothing like a sunset in northern Indiana.
Beautiful sunset, beautiful night it's turned into, as Bo told us, a little cooler. Folks, Marian University in Indianapolis is a great Catholic university and a great American city.
That they are. And we're happy to have them as part of the broadcast again tonight. Sanchez gets ready to put the toe to leather. Puckett back deep. And flag thrown as this one gets underway, and the only reason that would be blown is because somebody from Northwood was across the line.
And I can't imagine too much that would upset the head coach, Nate Andrews, than a fundamental error on a kickoff. Again, he's worried about tonight, but he's also worried about the rest of the season.
And that was something that Northwood spent a lot of time working on in practice when I saw them on Wednesday, was kickoff team conduct, and they messed that one up.
Yep. There'll be drills coming up on Monday. Folks, you're interested in improving all areas of your fitness program or sport, join the Strength and Conditioning Center in Mishawaka. That's Beacon Sports Performance. They offer youth, high school, and adult performance training. Visit their website, beaconhealthandfitness.com. NorthRidge.org. Do it today.
So Sanchez now kicking into this stiff northwestern breeze. And let's see if Northridge can take advantage of the field position with 2:26 to go before halftime. It'll be a squib kick this time, taken at the 24-yard line. Room to run for Bryce Justice. He's past the 40 and almost to midfield before Newcomer shoves him out of bounds.
Well, that was close.
And I'm not sure if somebody went down hard over there on the NorthWood sideline, but the officials are immediately attending to somebody over there, as is the training staff.
Not sure if it's the ball carrier or somebody he ran into, but there was contact right there, and Newcomer not called for a penalty, I don't think, but
it's not the ball carrier. They're trying to give plenty of room down there. We can't currently get an angle on this. We'll take a break. 2:18 to go before halftime. 28-10 NorthWood on 46. One of the ball boys here at NorthWood got hit pretty hard on that play, knocked down. The trainers tended to him. The officials stopped the game. Nate Andrews went over and checked on him, gave him a big hug, and he's sitting on the bench with an ice pack. He's going to be all right. In the meantime, Northridge has the ball on its own 48, 1st and 10, with 2:18 to go before halftime. Modulin in motion, but Evler kept it himself and taken down after a pickup of 1 on the play. Jake Lone, we've called his name a lot tonight, but there's a reason for that. He's been in on a lot of plays, and he was there along with Ben Mestock that time. Second and 9 from the 49. Trips to the top of the screen. You see the game situation on the Thor Industries scoreboard. Evler throws and finds Floria over on front of the Northridge bench, and Floria with a burst of speed gets the first down. Clock stops as they move the chains up past near the 40-yard line.
Going to mark it down at about the 41.
Minute 39 on the clock. Crowder has been the leading ball carrier for Northridge tonight, and he is in the backfield with Evler for this play.
102 yards passing tonight in this first half for Evler.
Evler steps into the throw, has his man, and it's close to the first down, but short as Aiden Berger makes this reception this time. Berger came into this game with only 2 catches. I think he's got 4 already tonight.
Figure those numbers at halftime, but you're right, Chuck. He's got 4 and some significant yardage.
Under a minute to go, first half, 2nd and 2. Northridge in no apparent hurry. Evler will carry it himself. Only gets a couple of yards, but enough for the first down, so the clock stops as they move the chains.
I'm so impressed with this Northwood team, believing in their game plan. Yeah, it matters if they have their top quarterback in there and Julius Graber, but what doesn't matter is whether or not the plays work. If you execute them, they'll work.
Now here's Evler. He wants to go deep, looking for his man, and he throws it out of bounds, and that's one reason there won't be any pass interference on that play, because that was an uncatchable football. And so with 33.5 seconds left, it'll be 2nd and 10.
11 out of 16, 110 yards in the first half, and no interceptions. He's made some real good incomplete passes. That might have been one of them. Stretch the defense. Let's see if we can come back and throw underneath it now.
2nd and 10 from the 30. Temperatures have cooled here in northern Indiana as the sun sets. Evler with time, throws, intercepted, and this will go the distance. Bronson Yoder has done it again. Unbelievable.
No, partner, I have to apologize. They just said he hadn't thrown an interception. That one, when he caught it, he was gone. We could have run a commercial. I should have done a live read while he was running that back.
It's sponsored by Napanee Family Eye Care. And Yoder, who has done everything else tonight for Northwood, has done it again.
And the thing about the pass was it wasn't off target too much. His receiver had a chance to catch it, but when he didn't, Yoder was right there in good position, picked it off, and off he went. We'll get a chance to see it again.
So Harrison Sanchez on to try the extra point. The snap is high, the kick is up, and it is good with 19 seconds to go in the first half. It's 35-10 Northwood, and here's another flicker in the Bronson Yoder highlight film tonight.
Yep, pretty well thrown ball.
Brecken Judd couldn't pry himself loose, and once Yoder cued it, as Bob said, cued the fight song.
Yep. What a terrific performance by that man. And you know, it's one thing, Chuck, when you go into a game, you say this guy should do this and should do that, and then when he does it, you just really appreciate the talent of that young man. And well, we have a moment to tell you the Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future. Whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business, Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. They're federally insured by the NCUA. They are an equal housing opportunity lender, and they're going to bring you our student athletes of the week coming up here at halftime. Bo Hunt will also be having a little bit of a session, I believe, with the head coach of the Northwood Panthers.
More than likely, Nate Andrews will still find something to complain about because he is a high school football coach, but that young man will not be one of them. Bronson Yoder is living up to the billing here tonight. And his grandparents watching from the stands tonight, and they have to be pleased with what they've seen from Bronson Yoder this evening.
What a special young man. And you know, you watch him in practice. We were over there this week, you and I both, and you see him in practice. What a great leader, and helping the younger guys if there's any question about where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing. He's almost like a fifth coach out there on the offensive sideline.
Well, Sanchez's kickoff will go out of bounds, so Northridge can take the ball up at the 35-yard line. But you mentioned what a special young man he is. That sounds just like what Nate Andrews said about Bronson Yoder before the game.
Well, he's a special player because he's a special kid. He's a special person. He inspires a lot of people each and every day because of his contagious work ethic and smile and the way he goes about his business.
And he's certainly been an inspiration. I can't imagine being a young football player in Napanee and Wakarusa these days and not wanting to wear number 9.
Well, and you know, the other thing, you know, is they talk about champion players, first guy in the field, last guy off. And he's doing that, but he's not doing it like I got to make points with the coach. The coach understands what a great man he is already, but he does it because he loves to play. He loves to play football, and he'll be a big asset. I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't one of the great players at William and Mary. You know, Lou Holtz used to coach there.
Well, and there's another
career.
Andrews that coaches there now. Nate's brother Trevor is the defensive coordinator.
Right, wouldn't you want him on your team?
Justin Puckett takes this one at the 15-yard line. Puckett working his way up the field. Puckett across midfield and goes out of bounds at about the 44. 10 seconds left. Maybe a chance for Northridge to try to throw one deep again. Tom Wagaman said his special teams would have to be special tonight, and for the most part, they have been.
Outstanding effort there by Puckett.
They're going to spot it at the Northwood 47. And so let's see how Tom Wagaman decides to play this here with 10 seconds left before intermission.
People around the state are going to look at the score, 35-10 at halftime, and they're going to say, well, that's what we expected, but it's been a far different game than that. But Mr. Yoder has made sure that his team is in control.
On the other thing about Bronson Yoder, you don't sense any jealousy on the Northwood team towards him getting the touches that he gets because, well, let's face it, he's pretty productive with them. Oliver Evler's been productive tonight, too. He's got another first down here as he gets it down to the 34. Clock stops with 2.9 before halftime. And you would imagine, even though Northridge isn't a Catholic school, they may invoke the Hail Mary right here.
33 yards rushing for Eveler in the first half. He's thrown for 110 yards.
So Eveler's going to step up, heave it towards the end zone. Bronson Yoder, another interception. He wouldn't do it again, would he? He couldn't do it again, could he?
Stand by for news.
Down at the 40-yard line, and the first half will come to an end. A first half that is a human highlight film for Bronson Yoder and the rest of the Northwood Panthers. Nate Andrews gathering his team around him before he leaves, and that'll give us a chance to watch this one on isolation. Tony Beltran was zeroed in on Bronson Yoder, and he reached up and snared that one for his second pick of the night, and nearly was able to take this one the distance as well. It was a tackle from behind by Dominic Crowder that ended the first half. So Nate Andrews still talking to his team here before the band comes onto the field. And I think Bo Hunt's going to have to use that speed he had as a football player to track him down from behind, but he's got him for a Bills Heating sideline report.
Nate, offensively, you guys are a well-oiled machine out there. Defensively, you guys were able to sustain some drives there late in the first half. But again, Bronson Yoder, what a great job out there.
I mean, I don't know about well-oiled offensively. I know that we're doing some good things offensively, though, like you say. Defensively, we're playing pretty well. We really are. We weren't expecting as much quick game. We're getting a ton of quick game, and they're beating us with the hitch and the tiger right in front of us, and then they take a shot over the top. It makes it tough on our young corners. So we got to button that up a little bit. We're going to change some techniques at halftime. Hopefully we can play a little bit better in the second half in that regard, but defense is playing well. It's our field position. We're putting our defense in a hole with our kickoff game.
Thanks, Nate.
Yep, thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, both stick around, everybody. We've got the Nelson's Catering and Fundraising halftime report and our TCU Student Athletes of the Week next. The Bronson Yoder Show takes a break for halftime. Northwood up 35-10 at the intermission on 46.
We welcome you back to Northwood High School as we get a chance to meet our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. And these two have become members of high society in their high schools, academically and athletically. Richard Howie is with us from NorthRidge High School, Mackenzie Weaver from Northwood. Mackenzie, even though you're the young lady in the group, we got to talk to the visitor first. Is that all right?
That is okay.
Okay, he gets the hit first, I guess, off the tee. Richard, first of all, congratulations on your success, not only on the field and on track, but also in the classroom. You're getting it done.
Thank you, sir. That actually means a lot to me.
Talk about what that takes to handle all those time commitments.
It just takes to find a balance in your schedule every day. I wake up at 6:30. I get to school at 7:30, which is probably about an hour before most people. Get in the weight room, lift, then hit the studies hard so I can get after school and really practice hard as well. So it takes both.
Well, you've been an outstanding leader at NorthRidge High School. You're captain of the football team, captain of the track team. What's that mean? Do you have that responsibility?
Oh, that means a great deal to me as well as the rest of my teammates. I hope that I can really show them a lot of leadership as well as they follow them suit, and they can show me a lot of hard work. As this is really what I want to show them as well. So
well, they can see that hard work. The harder you work, the luckier you get, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, talk about what's ahead academically for you. You are pretty well focused on what you want to study, actuarial science, which is terrific. And what led you in that direction?
I'm just naturally gifted in math. I got that from my mom. She's an accountant. So it's really led me down a path of what I know I want to do. And unfortunately, for some people, that would be sitting down behind a desk all day and cranking a bunch of numbers. So
you're okay with that?
Yeah, at this point, yes.
Good for you. Any chance of playing sports at the next level?
Maybe throwing for track. I don't see myself playing on the field as well for football. Just a lot of hitting. So,
you walk better when you're older anyway, but congratulations on your success and the great job you're doing at Northridge.
Thank you, sir.
Richard Howie from NorthRidge High School, and Mackenzie Weaver's here from Northwood High School, and she's a member of the golf team. Actually, she's the best golfer on the team and has been for 4 years. And Mackenzie, first of all, congratulations on not only handling things on the course, which is a challenge, but in the classroom.
Yeah, thank you. It's definitely taken a bit of getting used to. You know, it's about quality over quantity, I would say. You know, go out to the course, play for 3 hours, 4 hours, and then go home, study for 3 or 4 hours and then to bed and then, do the whole thing over again the next day.
Wait a minute, I missed dinner in there somewhere. Oh, you can eat while you're studying, I guess. Talk about the aspect of golf. This always fascinates me. I love to play golf. I love the game. It's a team game, but it's also a very individual game, and that sometimes can be a challenge that you really welcome.
Yeah, golf is definitely unique in that you can excel as a team, but you can also excel as an individual. I like it better when we excel as a team, and we have been for a few years now. I love my teammates very much. They all work hard. It's not just me, every single one of them. And even the JV is incredibly hardworking.
I understand there's some good young golfers on their way up, right?
There are, and that's just great to look forward to. To look back and see they're keeping going and they're not stopping, and that's just what we like to see.
Well, you're not the first lady from NorthWood we've interviewed about golf. It's been a pretty good tradition there. What do you hope to do at the next level? I know you haven't picked the colleges yet.
I'm definitely looking into engineering, and I have not picked a college yet, but if I can, I would like to golf.
Well, if somebody's looking for a top-flight golfer, give Mackenzie a call. We congratulate you. Talk about the people in your life that have really helped you.
First person comes to mind, my dad. He's worked very hard to make sure that I can be out on the course as much as possible. My mom drives me everywhere to the course every day so I can play and excel at what I do.
That's terrific. Congratulations again on all your success.
Thank you.
All righty. And Richard, Howie, I got to ask you, I admitted that question for you. Give a shout out to people that have helped you along the way.
I would like to give that to my mom. She is, the world to me and my brother. Raising us on our own for about 10 years. So, Mom, if you're watching this at home, thank you.
Wow. You're liable to get something for Christmas.
Maybe. Who knows?
All right. Thank you very much. And again, we salute these student athletes of the week, and we're so proud to get a chance to bring them to you here, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online to tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. We're back with halftime stats and highlights in a moment. You're watching the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week.
And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our community brighter. The NorthWood Red Regiment entertaining the crowd here at halftime with an electric halftime show, but it would have to be very good to compete with the show that was put on by the NorthWood Panthers in the first half. As they lead at 35-10 at the intermission, Chuck and Bob high above the fray. Partner, we said his name several times during the first half. I'm going to say it one more, Bronson Yoder.
Well, Joe Fortina, our producer-director, said, should we just do a stat sheet for Bronson Yoder and then for NorthRidge? But there's some really strange numbers in this game. Going into the game, you had mentioned that Yoder not only led the team in touchdown passes, but touchdown receptions. And so he had one of those tonight, and he ran an interception back, and he ran for over 100 yards. He's been phenomenal. But, you got to give, again, some credit to NorthRidge. They showed up, they got off the bus, and they said, okay, we're going to play the game. And early on, 15-7, looked like we were going to have a pretty good game. And NorthRidge just couldn't hold back against Bronson Yoder. And you look at the stats, not much really for NorthWood for a team that has 35 points, but a lot of highlights.
Well, let's show you how it got to be this way, because Tanner Feenstrow gets it up top to Nate Newcomer, who takes it on into the end zone for the score. It was 8-0, but back comes NorthRidge. Josh Beard with the touchdown catch from Oliver Epler to cut the gap to 8-7. Bronson Yoder then goes 48 yards on the very next play from scrimmage, breaking tackles on his way to the end zone. 15-7 Northwood, and they didn't have enough to cheer about. Here's Yoder again. 40 yards to pay dirt on this scamper, and Northwood would make it 21-7. After a NorthRidge field goal cut it to 21-10. Yoder up top to Jaden Miller for the touchdown pass. And then, as Bob mentioned, Yoder with the 90-yard interception return here for the pay dirt. And Northwood leads at 35-10 at the intermission, and they are putting up some impressive numbers on the stat sheet tonight.
Well, they are, and you look at their rushing yardage, they've certainly outrushed them 162 to 55. Passing yards, though, favors NorthRidge 110 to 62. You go down to total yards, and it looks, Northwood's got more, but they scored a lot on defense, and they had field position opportunities as well. Not much in penalties. The turnovers really hurt NorthRidge, especially late in the first half. But time of possession, are you kidding me? 19:38 for NorthRidge. Just 4 minutes and 22 seconds for Northwood, and you start looking at those numbers, and they scored 35 points. Check, they're scoring a point every 7 seconds that they had the ball.
Is that good?
That's a lot.
That's
pretty good.
Lots of young people here at the field enjoying the game tonight. Youth football teams being celebrated. They all want to grow up to be a Panther. Why not? The number 2 team of the state leads at 35-10 at the break. You're watching high school football on TV 46. This has been the Nelson's Catering and Fundraising Halftime Report. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you by J.B. Macri Orthodontics. Trust your smile to the experts. We trust our sideline reports to Bo Hunt. He joins us with the Bills Heating sideline report. I would not imagine that Tom Wagaman was too distressed over that first half, was he?
Well, I talked to Tom. I talked for him quite a while, and, he talked about, we had such a great fight going on for the first quarter and a half. We were really into it. Our guys were really going at it, and then he just, Bronson Yoder had those quick hits and those quick scores, and it just kind of took the breath out of us. And he goes, we had to recoup at halftime. I asked him, what do you do this second half? How do you come out? What do you talk to him about? What are those things? He goes, just plain and simple. He goes, we got to see who's going to step up. Which kids want to be out here? Which kids have a heartbeat? And he goes, that's our main thing, Bo. We have to find kids that have a heartbeat and want to be out here. Guys?
And that's what a second half of football is frequently about, whether it's a 1-point game or in this case a 25-point game. It comes down to desire and love of the game.
Well, you're going to have to give the ball to NorthWood to start the second half, and I would think maybe that time of possession number will change a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if NorthWood didn't try to run the football and run some clock, but they're so effective running it, it's just really tough to stop.
They've only thrown it a couple of times tonight. Every time they've thrown it, though, it's gone in the end zone.
3 passes by 3 different players. They had the halfback double reverse pass.
So Nolan Laughlin gets ready to tee it up here to start a third quarter, which is being brought to us by the Element Masters. And Laughlin's kick is sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. Bronson Yoder, one of the deep men, along with Kyle Sellers. And it's going to go to Yoder, who corrals it at the 6. Stop and go move. He's loose on the sidelines. Hurdles a tackler. He's phenomenal. He's down at the 41. Oh, is he fun to watch, unless you're an opponent.
A couple of guys from NorthRidge seemed to almost be patting him on the back when he got up. What a great return. Watch here. A little high hurdle action. Well, actually low hurdle.
Well, if he wants the low hurdles, sadly they don't offer those in track anymore, because you know who holds the low hurdles record at NorthWood?
Who would that be?
Nate Andrews.
Aha.
It's the one track record he still holds here at the school, and unless the IHSA reinstates that event, he'll have it for all eternity.
Pretty good field position for NorthWood to start the second half.
Yoder, no, that's newcomer throwing to Yoder. And he takes a licking and goes out of bounds at the NorthRidge 35-yard line. So Bronson Yoder, as we've mentioned, leads this team in pass completions as a quarterback, and he leads it in pass receptions as a receiver. I've never come across that stat before. He has 11 completions and 6 receptions on the year. And newcomer throws it again, and this is Yoder, and this is going towards the end zone. He's hauled down at the 7. First down sponsored by J&M Stone.
Man, 35-yard line all the way down. They're going to mark it about the 7-yard line, 28-yard gain on that play. And a first down. NorthRidge actually still leads in first downs for the ball game.
So newcomer at quarterback hands it off. Vashawn Malone taken down at the 7-yard line. I think that might be the first carry of the night for the junior running back, his 20th of the season. Had 85 yards and a couple of touchdowns last week in the win over Wawasee.
It was his first carry. I'm going to say NorthRidge on the night, 5 out of 5 passing for right around 100 yards.
Well, they've been a point every 7 seconds. They're almost right on cue for that right here with this drive.
Yeah, about 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Newcomer gang tackled at the 6-yard line. A number of white jerseys coming in that time to make the hit.
Newcomer's third carry, he has 24 yards on 3 carries.
There you see the numbers on Bronson Yoder, 942 rushing yards. He's done his damage in this possession on a kickoff return and 2 receptions. He was a 1,000-yard receiver just 2 years ago for Northwood, and he split one-on-one at the top of the screen, or the left side of your screen, I should say. And they're looking for him one-on-one in the end zone. Dives! Touchdown, Northwood.
I think you're going to give it to him, Chuck. I'm not sure if the ground didn't help this, but there's no replay, and if the referee called it, why wouldn't you?
So that's his 3rd catch of the night, his 2nd receiving touchdown of the season. You get another look from Bethel College admissions. That probably was a trap.
But he never really lost control of it. He just had the ground assist. But again, you don't have a replay. That official was in good position, made the call.
High snap. Herson Sanchez's kick is up and good. They've played 2 minutes of the 3rd. It's 42-10 Northwood. And we'll keep it on Bronson Yoder with the isolation. There was no doubt in anybody's mind where they were going with this football.
Got to win the 50-50 balls, and this one was well thrown. The only guy who's going to catch it is Yoder.
I mean, it really was pretty good coverage that time by Northridge. Tristan Carroll was right there with them. Carroll getting up, saying it was no catch. But the official who signaled touchdown couldn't see Yoder trap the ball against the ground.
7 quick points to start the second half. Chuck, that took him a little bit longer, 1:59, which is 119 seconds.
So it is 42-10 now in favor of Northwood. And Herson Sanchez will kick off with the wind at his back from the 40-yard line. This is one area where Nate Andrews would like to see some improvement. His special teams have not been as strong as he would like tonight.
You saw the same thing I did at practice, Chuck. They worked on this tirelessly, and they're trying to find people to get to the ball carrier in a bad mood at the right time. And give credit to Northridge. They've done a good job on returns. And another time the ball falls off the tee, and we'll need to have someone hold it, I believe. Yep.
You have to remember, Herson Sanchez is much more used to kicking that round ball. He is a soccer player that comes over and spends a little bit of time with the football team during the week, and then on Friday nights. High end-over-end kick here that goes into the end zone for the touchback. And Northridge will take over first down at its own 20, and Nate Andrews liked that one from Herson Sanchez.
Good execution on the kick and the coverage that time. Chuck, when you look ahead, Northridge is going to have to do some healing, but they've got Goshen coming up, Concord, and Memorial, and they feel like those are games they can win. As long as Yoder doesn't transfer to either one of those schools, they'll have a shot.
Well, the fact of the matter is Oliver Evler, despite the 2 interceptions at the end of the first half, played a pretty strong first half. Had some good passing numbers. We'll see what he can do with the first possession here. It'll be hampered by a false start.
Might be Northwood offside. Let's see. Waiting for our official to make the call. It is illegal procedure. It's only the 3rd penalty for Northridge tonight. 20 yards on 3 penalties. 2 really well-coached teams. You could see that just in the number of penalties in the first half. But Chuck, you know, those 2 big turnovers, both on the same play. Not a desperation pass, but you're throwing it out there, taking your chances.
Well, he completes a pass right here. This looks like Aiden Berger, excuse me, 5th time we've called his name tonight on a reception. Pickup of 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7.
12 out of 19 for 118 yards.
Second and 7 at the 23. pickup of 2 on the play as Evler keeps it himself. And it'll be 3rd and 5.
Evler's got 35 yards rushing tonight.
NorthWood shuffling the defense around. You heard Nate Anders say in his halftime interview with Bo, he was a little bit troubled by how his defense had problems stopping the short passing game of NorthRidge. We'll see what they can do right here.
NorthRidge 6 out of 8 on 4th down conversions in that first half.
Evler, pass broken up. Good play by the defensive back that time. As coming over to make the play was Hayden Snyder, the senior cornerback, member of Aaron Wolf's basketball team, and he managed to break up a pass right here.
Pretty good throw.
Berger had it right there, but Snyder got his hands in there to break it up. So now Nolan Laughlin, the punter, comes on to try a kick sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. Good kick into the wind. Kicked it away from Nate Newcomer, and the ball goes out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. So with 8:37 to go, 3rd quarter, NorthWood leads at 42-10 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, Bo Hunt back with you at Jim Andrews Field. Nate Newcomer, the NorthWood quarterback, scrambling, takes a pretty good lick as a flag is thrown. And usually where this flag is thrown, it's indicative of a holding call.
I want to thank Bourbon Street Pizza in Napanee. They're open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Try the buffalo chicken pizza with sweet baby raised buffalo sauce, tender garlic chicken strips, and mozzarella cheese. Enjoy your favorite pizza, pasta, and wings. Dine in or carry out, or call for delivery at 773-9600. We'd like to thank Bourbon Street Pizza in Napanee for feeding our production crew tonight with great pizza. Bourbon Street Pizza.
So indeed it is a holding call against NorthWood, 10 yards from the spot of the infraction, so it winds up being a 12-yard penalty and 1st and 22. Reminder, our 3rd quarter is being brought to us by the Element Masters. And a bad snap there, and Nate Newcomer gives up the football, and NorthRidge has it. Cole Berger comes in to make the recovery. And NorthRidge in business deep in Panther territory at the 10.
What a momentum swing to get yourself back in the game. That's another tough snap.
Right through the wickets, and Berger showing great speed as he beat Newcomer to the football.
Just inside the 10, they're saying.
And everybody on the snap moved before the center did, Brody Burkholder. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty and sets up 1st and goal from the 15.
Folks, stop by and visit your new neighbor, the Pretty Cakery in downtown Napanee. Made from scratch, enjoy cupcakes, cookies, macaroons, pies made with their signature all-butter pastry dough crust, special order custom cakes, and more. The Pretty Cakery, now open in Napanee.
Evler checking with the sideline. You see Crowder on his left, Modulin on his right. And it's Tug Modulin on the carry to the end zone. Touchdown, NorthRidge. Modulin, who had that big second half against Plymouth on 46 a couple of weeks ago, darts into the end zone for his 6th TD of the season, a nifty 15-yard jaunt, and the Raiders are on the board again.
Didn't take too long to get in the end zone on that one, Chuck.
So Nolan Laughlin on to try the extra point. He's perfect on PATs this season. The kick sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. Snap is clean, the kick is up, and it is good. 8:15 to go in the 3rd, and NorthRidge has cut the lead to 25 at 42-17. The turnover was huge, and so is the run by Modulin.
Modulin gets some good leverage now. He's looking. As soon as he's got a gap in there, he turns it up the field and hustles into the end zone. Pretty good veteran runner there, and Tug Modulin.
Weston Kuntz with a very good kick-out block that time by the senior guard, as he gave Modulin plenty of room to run.
The Element Masters in Middlebury is your authorized train dealer serving all of Michiana. They install, maintain, and repair heating, cooling, and ventilation products, making your home a comfortable place for life to happen. They also offer 24/7 emergency services. Write down that number, the Element Masters, 574-825-8824.
So NorthRidge coming into this game with a record of 3-2 overall. NorthWood 5-0 coming in. And Nate Andrews' team atop the Northern Lakes Conference, but Nate having a chat with his defensive coordinator Dave Wilson right there. Perhaps a little bit concerned about how his team got slashed on that carry. Here's the kickoff by Nolan Loftman, sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. Kyle Sellers takes it back at the 3-yard line. Sellers bulldog down at the 26. And that's where Northwood will set up 1st and 10.
Our Yoder Construction, providing traditional hands-on expertise with the latest in construction technology. Your building project will be complete on time and within budget. Whether it's your new home or business, our Yoder Construction is dedicated to exceeding your expectations. Visit ouryoderconstruction.com for your next building project.
So the Panthers, who have scored on every possession so far until the bad snap, which resulted in a fumble. And now it's Bronson Yoder throwing the football out in the flat and completing the pass for good yardage. A 1st down sponsored by J&N Stone. Fumble, and NorthRidge might have it again. They do. NorthRidge with the fumble recovery, and it's Evler who comes up with the loose change. The quarterback playing both ways managed to make the hit there on Jaden Miller.
Yep. Miller was making good progress there.
Pass along a couple of score updates to you from NIC games tonight. Mishawaka leads Elkhart Central 15-8 going to the 4th at Steele Stadium. And Penn with a narrow 14-13 lead in the 3rd quarter on St. Joe.
A lot of good football going on here in Northern Indiana this year. No question about that.
NorthRidge with the ball at midfield. Evler, pump fake, wants it all, has a man. Berger catches it in stride. Touchdown, NorthRidge. Aiden Berger on the touchdown pass from Oliver Evler, and boy, did he throw a beautiful ball, Bob.
And he's done it quite a few times tonight, and those young corners for Northwood. And you heard Nate Andrews talking about it. When he talked to Bo Hunt, he said, you know, they're picking on our young corners and they've been successful. We've got to make some adjustments. And that discussion is going on right now. The head coach and his assistants.
Tom Wagaman said he wanted to see some heart from his team in the 2nd half. He has certainly done that. Nolan Laughlin's extra point, sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment, is up and good. And now it's an 18-point game, 42-24. You'll see the defensive play that set it up, leading to the offensive play. Miller had the ball knocked away by Andrew Lockwood, the sophomore linebacker, and then look at this pretty throw from Evler to Berger, who got behind Hayden Snyder, the senior cornerback.
Chuck, the strange numbers continue on my stat sheet. The last touchdown drive by NorthRidge, where they went 15 yards on one play to Tug Modlin, was a 4-second possession. This last one, 6 seconds. So in 10 seconds, we got some strange numbers going on tonight. And I'm sure that Nate Andrews and his staff were sitting there looking at the scoreboard and saying, if we don't get the interception return and a couple of the other breaks that we got, we'd be hooked in one.
Well, let's face it, if the interception that was returned for a touchdown goes for a touchdown for NorthRidge, it's a completely different feel to this game at halftime. Here's a spinning kickoff taken by Sellers, and he went down to one knee to take it back at the 4-yard line.
Wow. Now, these are the kind of things that Nate Andrews talks about during the week. You know, if we're going to be an elite team, right now we're number 2 in the state and we're undefeated, but we've got things we got to work on. You can't do that right there.
And there's no question his knee was on the ground and the referee was looking right at it.
We're going to mark it on the 4-yard line.
So 42-24 in favor of Northwood, but Bronson Yoder has some work to do from the shadow of his own goalpost. And he'll keep it himself, looking for room to run, and he spins his way out to the 13, dragging Dominic Crowder with him.
What a 9-yard pickup right there.
They go to the 4th in the Cable Line Cup, Bob. Jimtown up on Concord 14-7.
Be nice if we could go over there for an update.
Well, we've got a pretty good one going right here with 7:22 to go in the third. 2nd and 2. Yoder looks for room to run, bounces it outside. Look out. And finally, dragging tacklers with him to the 18. I don't mean this in a demeaning way. I mean it complimentary to Bronson Yoder. He is a man playing with boys right now. He's just playing at a different level.
And look at the way he just holds the ball here. And I want to see where, okay, they tried to tag him. We couldn't do it. Go to right. He couldn't get me. They couldn't get me. And when he finally gets wrapped up, he gets another 5 yards.
So a first down sponsored by J&N Stone. And now Northwood looking like it wants to bleed a little bit of clock. From their 18, Yoder throws it. It's complete to Jaden Miller. Stiff arms one man. Miller submarine tackled at the 34-yard line. It's another first down sponsored by J&N Stone. 16 yards on the pickup for Miller.
Good run, solid run.
Jaden Miller with a 17-yard pickup on the play. Now Yoder behind his offensive line, squirts through and picks up 15 there before he's knocked out of bounds. Some of the Northwood fans wanted a late hit on that play by Cole Berger, but they didn't get it. And it's a 16-yard pickup for Bronson Yoder on the ground.
162 now in the ball game.
Well, he's 29 yards from the 1,000-yard mark for the season. And he'll flip it to Jaden Miller here. Miller weaving his way through people, serpentining his way for 12 yards and a first down sponsored by J&N Stone.
Those are consecutive carries of 17, 15, and 12 yards. Pretty nice way to move the football.
Down to the NorthRidge 38. Remember, this drive started all the way back at the Northwood 4-yard line.
Still a bunch of time left in this third quarter.
Yoder ran for 238 yards in the win over Goshen. He's going to run the ball for some more yardage here. In fact, he could go all the way. He's dragged down finally at the 22-yard line. 16 on that pickup. And the first down sponsored by J&N Stone once again. Thanks to Jack and Nadine for their sponsorship of our broadcast tonight.
13 yards away from that milestone now.
Yoder with Vashawn Malone off to his left. Man in motion, they hand it off. And a flag comes in behind the play. This is going to be a hold against Northwood. It was Kyler Hypley on the carry, but this one's coming back.
$37 yards and penalties now for Northwood on 5 different calls.
Well, Nate Andrews is not going to be pleased about the penalties on his team. He looks for a clean game. Penn has now extended its lead on St. Joe to 21-13 at TCU Freed Field. Yoder looking to the sidelines. He probably doesn't mind the holding penalty. It gives him more yardage to pick up.
Needs 13 to reach 1,000.
1st and 20. Vashawn Malone, nice cut up the field. Malone spun down at the 23-yard line. Pickup of 9 on the play. 2nd and 11.
10 yards on 2 carries tonight for Malone.
Zach Howie making the tackle that time on Malone. Howie, the sophomore linebacker, who's also a member of the NorthRidge track team. You look into the eyes of the NorthWood players. They average 45 points a game. Well, they're already at the 42 mark midway through the third.
The Ridge needs another stop.
Yoder wants to throw. Rolling out, decides to keep it himself. Bouncing off tacklers and finally taken out of bounds at the 18, 5 yards on the pickup.
Nelson's Banquet Hall is currently being remodeled with a new addition. In the near future, the new hall will be the perfect place to host your elegant wedding and reception or company holiday celebrations and much more. Don't forget to check in soon to see Nelson's 2018 holiday menu specials at nelsonsbbq.com.
Just hearing that makes my mouth water.
Oh, you got it, partner.
4:26 and counting in the third. Newcomer in the game now. Flashes towards the end zone. Nate Newcomer, touchdown. Newcomer's 5th rushing touchdown of the year and his 2nd touchdown of the night. It comes on a nice 23-yard run to pay dirt.
Pretty efficient drive right there, huh?
It started all the way back at the NorthWood 4-yard line, a 96-yard march to pay dirt for the Panthers.
9 plays to go 96 yards.
Herson Sanchez's kick is high into the September night and good, and with 4:20 to go in the third quarter, NorthWood on the board again. It's been an unstoppable force on offense. This time, it's a newcomer to the end zone. Well, actually, he's been there before. Nate punches it in. 49-24 NorthWood on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. As we mentioned before, a big old possum hunting moon in the sky tonight. The Sea of Tranquility perhaps available up there. And it's been shining down on the NorthWood Panthers. 49-24 in this one. Highlights aplenty. Mr. Nagel going to about his 3rd stat sheet of the night.
Almost ran that ink last week, doing it again tonight, but some strange numbers. 10 seconds for 2 NorthRidge touchdowns here in the second half. Turnovers helping, of course. I think the turnovers and special teams and the interception return, Chuck, are going to really skew the numbers. You're going to look at the numbers and think pretty even game.
Sanchez's kick goes into the end zone again on the touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20 for NorthRidge. For those of you who will watch the Saturday morning version of our game, it may look like it's all scoring plays.
Well, it's going to have to, because there's a bunch of them. We've got 73 points on the board, and we still got, what do we got, 16, almost 17 minutes left to go in the game.
I guarantee you we've had some basketball games that we've done where we have not had 73 points between the two teams.
1st and 10 from the 20. That's a pretty good weapon, too, to have a kicker that jumps in to help you.
So Oliver Evler comes out at quarterback once again. He's had a couple of touchdown passes tonight. Hands it off here to Tug Modulin, who went to the end zone on his last run, but not this time. He stopped after a pickup of 3. Modulin, one of the top carriers on this team, had 113 yards rushing in their win over Wawasee.
24 yards rushing tonight on 8 carries.
Northwood has done a pretty decent job against the running game of NorthRidge. They've been hurt by the aerial circus. Modulin to try to run around the left side, nothing doing.
That was the play that he scored the touchdown on. I thought maybe if he could get open for 15, he could open for more, but might have picked up a yard.
Nick Bontrager, a member of the wrestling team, in on the stop.
Folks, check out 41 Degrees North in downtown Middlebury, featuring great burgers. They've got great refreshments, wonderful, unique opportunity to enjoy yourself at 41 Degrees North. Go NorthRidge Raiders from friends at 41 Degrees North.
Evler barking at the call. 3 receivers to his right. And that's where he'll look for Austin Floria. Floria gets a nice block from Modulin, but then gets rocked at the 28-yard line, short of the first down. It'll be 4th down and 1. Well, Tom Wagaman's gone for a lot of 4th downs tonight and converted quite a few of them. Will he go for one deep in his own territory?
So, gain of 6 yards on the play.
And NorthRidge wants to talk about this one, so they'll call a timeout with 2:45 to go before the quarter break.
J&N Stone and the Loniger family with wish the Panthers good luck tonight and through the remainder of the season. Jack and Nadine are proud supporters of NorthWood and the entire 1E community, and they take pride in their customer service. J&N Stone, handcrafted, nature-inspired stone veneer.
Reminder, Pulse FM is your home for Indiana football on 103.1 this year. Number 24, Michigan State, goes down to the Rock to take on Tom Allen's undefeated Indiana Hoosiers. We'll have it for you Saturday night, 7:30 for the kickoff. Don Fisher on the call for IU football on 103.1 FM.
The Indiana Hoosiers with the ball first time. Oh, I'm sorry. Don's the best, isn't he?
He is Hall of Famer.
Loves his Hoosiers. Folks, Thor Industries loves this time of year because team pride is on full display. That team culture from Friday Night Sidelines extends to our Thor Industries team. Build your future right here in Elkhart with one of the Thor's excellent career opportunities. Get started today at thorindustries.com.
4th and 1. Evler under center, pitches to Modulin. He's got the first down. Tug Modulin with the 7th 4th down conversion of the night for NorthRidge. They are 7 of 10 on 4th down tonight. What's incredible about that is they were 4 for 13 for the entire season coming into the night.
Partner, that's a weird number, but we've had a lot of those tonight.
35-yard line for the Raiders, 1st and 10. Evler on a running start, keeps it himself. Evler for a first down in the Northwood territory to the 49-yard line. He's been fun to watch, too.
Sure has. Again, playing without fear.
And playing without their starting quarterback, Julius Graber. But they had a week to prepare this week, unlike last week in the Warsaw game.
Evler now with 48 yards rushing, 118 yards passing.
Evler wants Berger again. He's done this a couple of times tonight. He did it again. Oh, what a throw. Down to the 14. Evler to Berger, and this Berger is well done.
25 yards on the reception, is that right? 35.
35 yards. Brock Lehman had the coverage that time, but nobody has been able to cover the 6'3", lanky wide receiver, Aiden Berger. Less than 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Now it's Modulin on that corner turn, and this time Northwood is able to get out there and pursue. And Tug Modulin knocked down after a pickup of 3. Ben Mestock was out there to help make the stop this time, the junior linebacker.
Modulin now with 27 yards on the night and 10 carries. Almost 200, I think right at 200 yards offense tonight for Evler. Outstanding. 48 yards rushing, 153 passing.
He has been very impressive in his first high school start. And he throws a beautiful sideline deep ball. Now Modulin tried to cut it inside, and a flag comes in here, and I believe this is going to be against NorthRidge. but we'll see. And it is a block in the back against the Raiders, and producer director Joe Fertina thinks we have it on the replay. Take a look here, and Josh Beard, doing some clear out action there from behind.
So the flag come in there late. NorthRidge now with 30 yards and penalties. NorthWood has 37. Folks, the teams in this game are working toward a great finish, and so is the team from Imagineering Finishing Technologies, partners with industries including aerospace, automotive, military and defense, medical, and precision machining. At IFT, quality is a way of life.
2nd and 19 from the NorthWood 23. NorthRidge down by 25, but showing a lot of fight here in this third quarter. Evler again. Austin Floria with the catch this time. Berger trying to block for him. And Floria brought down around the 17-yard line. About a 6-yard pickup on the play.
14-22 now on the night. 159 yards for Evler.
Evler has twin receivers on each side, looking at a 3rd and 13. They do have to run this play before the quarter expires.
This drive started at the 20-yard line.
Evler, quarterback draw, runs up the middle of the field. Evler to the 2-yard line for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal. And NorthRidge has come out here in the third quarter, and they haven't been able to make up any ground on NorthWood, but they haven't lost any either. They trailed by 25 at halftime. They'll trail by 25 going to the fourth, but it was certainly not a boring third quarter. There was scoring all over the place in the third quarter. Bronson Yoder fired the first salvo with this diving touchdown catch, but then Aiden Berger got a touchdown catch of his own. And after Nate Newcomer's touchdown, it's 49-24 NorthWood on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being sponsored in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for 28 years. Bo Huckabee hasn't been with us for 28 years, but he's been with us for a while, and he joins us down on the sideline with a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo, a very intriguing third quarter.
Yeah, definitely. I think NorthWood got a little sloppy, a little careless with the football, of course, with the 2 turnovers. I mean, that was huge for NorthRidge to be able to get back into this. Are they too far out? Not quite at this moment. They still have a shot, but I saw a lot of heart out there, what Coach Wogelman was talking about with his players. They showed some poise. They were really still into the game, a lot of enthusiasm. So we'll see how this fourth quarter finishes up, guys.
1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Evler bobbing, weaving, and into the end zone for the touchdown. Oliver Evler puts NorthRidge on the board again, and they've put 30 up against this NorthWood defense tonight that was averaging only 9.4 points allowed per game.
What a drive, 80 yards.
Nolan Laughlin on to try the Stutzman Power Equipment extra point. Evler, the holder, the snap is good, the kick is up, and it is no good. He missed it off to the right. His first PAT missed this season, but that was about the only flaw in this one for the Raiders on an impressive scoring drive. You get another look at the capper from Bethel College Admissions.
4 minutes and 24 seconds on the drive. That's what's impressed me, I guess, maybe most about what NorthRidge has done. They've worked the ball up and down the field. Time of possession was ridiculous in the first half. Again, not enough points to show for it, but that guy's got to be really proud of that group that's going to get on the bus and head back to Middlebury tonight. They came here, and everybody thought that with all the injuries it'd be really tough. They found some heroes tonight. That's what they were looking for.
49-30 in favor of NorthWood. You know, this one seems firmly in control for Northwood, but we have to remember at one point in this game they were up 42-10, and this one was really looking like a rout. And Northridge has kept it respectable here in the second half.
And they tried an onside kick earlier in the game that was about a half yard from being successful.
Well, it wouldn't be the worst move in the world to come back to that. You see Bronson Yoder standing back deep at his own 10-yard line.
That's a dangerous situation.
It's been a while since he's been heard of. Oh, there's the onside kick attempt, but again, it didn't go 10 yards. Wow.
I thought that last bounce was going to have plenty to get there and landed, and it looked like one of my wedge shots that I want to go the other way, and it fell into the bunker.
So you called it, partner. You had a good look at this one. It was set up well, but the ball doesn't even come close to going 10 yards. Starts off great, and then it just keeps going sideways. It hit the 47, and it's like it hit a cement wall.
Yep. But he did a good job there to try to cover it, did Northridge, even though it didn't go 10 yards. You don't want the other guy to sweep in and pick it up and go.
Jason Borkholder on the recovery that time for Northwood. So the Panthers with the ball in Raider territory again. Second time that's happened after a kickoff tonight. Nate Newcomer rolling right, throws to Jaden Miller, who catches it back against the grain, and Miller down to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 18 on the play. A first down sponsored by J&N Stone. And Miller's having a pretty nice night catching the football.
And Newcomer's pretty effective as well throwing it. He's 5 out of 5 now. And has picked up 71 yards through the air. They got 22 on a halfback option pass and 32 from Yoder.
Newcomer on the carry. Newcomer loose in the secondary down to the 8. Another first down sponsored by J&N Stone, and a couple of Raider players slow to get up. Bo talked about maybe not so much cramping tonight, but there's definitely a Northridge player, Bryce Justice, hobbling his way off the field over the sideline.
69 yards rushing tonight for Newcomer. Boy, what a talent to have, huh? He's not your starting quarterback, so to speak, but he plays from the opening tip. He's great on special teams, and might have a timeout here to check on an injury.
Well, it's an official's timeout because the Northridge player, we mentioned Bryce Justice, just off the sideline, but he's not far enough removed on the sideline for play to continue. So we'll take a break here with Northwood leading 49-30 and 11:24 to go in the fourth. Gives us a chance to look at what's coming up for these two teams, Bob. And let's start with Northridge, as they've got to go to Goshen next week.
Be a tough assignment. Goshen, an improving team. They're very young. I think they're going to be, next year is going to be a good year for them. You got a good young quarterback, and they got to go to Concord, a team that's playing with some confidence tonight. And then again, Elkhart Memorial, one of the mystery teams this year, because we've seen them be very good. We've seen them make progress, and it'll be a tough assignment.
Well, before we look at what's going up for Northwood, let's look at what's coming up with our sponsors.
Folks, when it's time to replace your windows and doors, call Quality Window and Door just south of the US 20 bypass on County Road 32. A family-owned and operated business since 1997. And a big shout-out goes to Northwood Panther Hayden Snyder tonight. He's number 10. And they want to congratulate the rest of the Black Crunch. Quality Window and Door. Quality is in their name.
First and goal at the 9-yard line. Clock running. Nate Newcomer at quarterback. Newcomer with Yoder out there to option 2, but Newcomer will keep it himself, and he gets into the end zone for the touchdown, his third of the night. Nate Newcomer, second rushing touchdown of the evening for the 5'10", 160-pound sophomore. And Northwood has cracked the 50-point mark for the evening.
11-12 left to go in the fourth quarter.
Herson Sanchez on to try the extra point. It's up, and it is good. 56-30 in favor of Northwood. You get another look at this touchdown from Bethel College Admissions.
Well, again, you see Newcomer. He's got the big target behind him, and everybody's looking, keeping their eyes on Yoder. And Newcomer's able to turn up field. And again, arm tackling's not getting it done tonight. Take a look at it right down the line. Tony Beltran with a good look. Tony could have made the tackle, I think.
He was as close as anybody.
But look at here, you just can't arm tackle.
Ben Mestock and Tanner Feenstra with good blocks on the play.
Yeah, it hasn't been a lack of want to by NorthRidge. They just got to improve their technique, and younger players will do that. As you look at the wonderful fans here wearing their construction gear for NorthWood, I want to tell you that John's Butcher Shop was established in 1941 and is a family-owned old-fashioned meat market specializing in seasoned prime rib steaks and their award-winning smoked products, including summer sausage, snack sticks, and jerky. Visit them in Napanee or at johnsbutchershop.com for a list of weekly specials.
So 56-30 in favor of NorthWood, and still 11-12 to go.
And the Yoders continue to be happy. What a surprise. 56-30. Part of that's 86 points. We could hit the Hyundai mark tonight. We haven't done that in a while.
Well, I don't think there was an over-under placed on any high school game, but this definitely would have to be the over. Sanchez gets ready to tee it up, but guess what happened?
The ball fell off the tee.
For about the 8th time tonight.
Chuck, you know, if this was a Notre Dame women's basketball game, you'd need about 2 more points for everybody to get a free sandwich. Exciting news. They announced the schedule this year for Notre Dame women's basketball. We'll be part of that for you on Pulse FM. Irish trying to win another national championship.
Sanchez with a spinning kick. It's taken by Justin Puckett as 5. And good special teams coverage by NorthWood this time, hauling Puckett down at the 20-yard line.
I'm impressed with the kicking of NorthWood tonight. Into the wind, they're still getting the ball down to about the 5 or 10-yard line. That's pretty good against that breeze coming out of the northwest. Actually now more out of the north, so maybe not competing to kick as much.
Yeah, it's more of a crosswind now than anything else.
Beautiful setting for high school football. I want to thank Norm Sellers and the great staff here at NorthWood High School. Dave Harms and his staff over at NorthRidge High School. Boy, these guys are great to work with, make our job a lot easier.
50 years of great tradition here at NorthWood High School. And of course, Jim Andrews Field, named after the late NorthWood head coach and the father of the current head coach, is Oliver Evler on the carry. Pickup of 2.
Chuck, somebody asked me tonight if I could mention that there is going to be a NorthWood golf outing coming up on the 29th of September. It's an afternoon affair at McCormick Creek, helping to support the program. And I said there's no way that we can mention that on the game tonight. But if you'd like to play, very reasonable amount of money involved, and you'd be supporting the program.
2nd and 7 from the 23. Evler to Austin Floria, who cuts it up the field and gets the first down up to the 31-yard line. So a pickup of 8. And another ball control pass in the short passing game by NorthRidge. I think this is one of the things that impresses me most about Evler tonight, Bob, is the fact that he's been able to not only throw those short passes, the slant passes, but then air out and find Berger in stride on at least 3 deep balls tonight.
You've had some guys that have stepped up. Again, they were looking for heroes tonight. 24's done a nice job here tonight.
The pass to
Floria.
24 again. It's Floria. Nate Newcomer finally drags him down after a pickup of 3. Newcomer, another interesting player on this NorthWood team. 2-way player. Also a 2-sport athlete. He's a wonderful pitcher and catcher on the NorthWood baseball team, which has put up some very good numbers in recent years.
Again, Evler continues to impress. He's 16 out of 24 for 170 yards. But 2 of his incompletions were interceptions, and those were really painful late in the first half.
Well, especially the one return for a touchdown. Dominic Crowder with the run there. He picks up 10 yards and another NorthRidge first down out to the 42-yard line. You look at Julius Graber over on the sidelines. Knee injury. We're not talking about the extent of the injury because Tom Wagaman didn't want to before the game, but you kind of got the feeling in talking to Tom that it was going to be Graber on the sideline for, well, more than a couple of weeks. As Evler keeps the ball here and barely gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Chuck, I did talk to, I had a chance to talk to Julius Graber, and I said, what weight did you wrestle at last year? He said 156. He's talking about 166 now, but I want to wrestle at 160. So he's planning on being back for the wrestling season, which would be great. He's a very accomplished wrestler.
The name Graber in wrestling synonymous at Northridge. Of course, Connor Graber last year winning the state title. Here's a fumble, and Evler is able to pounce on it about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Connor Graber now wrestling as a freshman down at IU. Just celebrated a birthday yesterday, by the way.
Turned 37.
Might seem that way to some of the opponents he faced last year.
I'll tell you, good, wonderful family, wonderful young men, and great representatives of that Middlebury School Corporation, Northridge.
3rd and 13. Evler pump fake. Now the pocket collapses, scrambles, and the ball incomplete. Really kind of the first drop that we've seen from a Northridge receiver tonight, as Floria was not able to hang on to that one. 4th down and a punting situation here for Northridge.
Floria's got to be a little tired. He's been a featured receiver here tonight. Boy, I just love the way Julius Graber is encouraging his teammates and trying to help out.
So Nolan Laughlin on to do the punting here. It's sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. Dominic Crowder, this is the second fake punt of the night, but this one did not get the first down as Crowder is stopped at the 50-yard line.
I love it. He needed 14, he got about 12.
Well, Tom Wagaman's going to tell you after the game, it doesn't matter if you lose by 26, 36, or 6. A loss is a loss, and you might as well go down fighting.
Well, kind of reminds you of the scene at the end of Saving Private Ryan. Tom Hanks was firing that pistol at the tank. It's all I got left. But he kept firing, and, well, the Air Force got there in time to help out, but Northridge is giving everything they got.
Now the snap hits Bronson Yoder in the face mask, and Bronson manages to pick up about 2.5 on the play. Mahoney in on the stop for Northridge, but NorthWood will be satisfied here to try to take some time off the clock. They lead it by 26.
Well, about 3 more yards, I believe, and we'll be looking at a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yoder letting his offensive line know about the play call. Play clock down to 5. Yoder hands it off, and it's Ben Mestock on the run. Mestock spinning away from tacklers. Mestock all the way to the 10. A 38-yard run for the whirling dervish that is Ben Mestock.
His best carry of the night.
Look at him break tackles here, throwing people off of himself. It was dogged pursuit by Northridge that time that finally brought him down.
Oh.
And the ball pops loose, and it's blown dead.
This is going to be painful because I think that's an inadvertent whistle.
Well, this appeared to definitely be a fumble, but the officials are saying the player was ruled down. There's no way he was down.
Not even close. And I think the official might have thought somebody else had the ball. Did he think that 25 was down? Did he think he had the ball? I don't know.
I'm not sure who he thought had the ball, but the fact of the matter is that should have been a fumble, and All you can do about it on the NorthRidge sidelines, grin. Newcomer on the carry. Newcomer to the end zone. Touchdown, NorthWood. Nate Newcomer with his 4th touchdown of the night and his 3rd rushing TD.
75 yards rushing tonight for Nate Newcomer, in addition to throwing for 71 yards.
Well, there are not many games where you're going to see 2 different players account for 4 touchdowns each. But you've seen that tonight from NorthWood. Bronson Yoder with 4 touchdowns. And now Nate Newcomer with 4 touchdowns. The extra point is good. 6:22 to go. If you're up late on a Friday night, you've got permission to go to bed. 63-30 NorthWood on 46. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, Bo Hunt back with you at Andrews Field in Napanee. It is 63-30 NorthWood. The Panthers with another huge night of offensive output.
Folks, visit KEY Boutique in downtown Napanee to shop their newest fall arrivals, which include everyday basics, ankle boots, premium denim, and accessories. They sell girls sizes and XS to 3X for women. Head over to their online store. Shop keyboutique.com, where there is always free shipping.
We're starting to get some finals trickling in. We can tell you that Jimtown defeated Concord tonight by a count of 27-7. And Pioneer down Triton by a count of 56-6. And late in the 4th, Bremen with a 21-14 lead on Marion.
Into the 3rd quarter, New Prairie Cougars 21, Adams 14.
Here it's 63-30 in favor of NorthWood. And the kick by Sanchez into the wind, carried into the end zone. It'll be a call to touchback. And NorthRidge will start at the 20-yard line.
Yoder Stutzman Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been serving Napanee and the surrounding area since 1969. They're committed to what they do and are here to serve you for your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Yoder Stutzman Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, building lasting solutions.
Also a final tonight, Mishawaka has defeated Elkhart Central 22-17. So Keith Kinder's team staying undefeated, but getting a scare from the Blue Blazers.
Well, and they can scare you because they've got outstanding offensive players and a defense that's getting better. They're going to be good come tournament time.
Here's a handoff up the middle. This is Dominic Crowder going for a first down up to the 35-yard line. Crowder filling in for the injured Cade Lacey tonight. He's only a sophomore, 210 pounds, but he moves well, and he's had a nice night running the football.
53 yards on his 9 carries tonight.
Evler calling the play at the line of scrimmage as we go under 6 minutes to go in this one.
140 yards rushing tonight for NorthRidge to go with their 170 yards passing. They put some points on the board and they put some numbers together.
They can tack on 8 more there. It'll be 2nd and 2.
.61 yards now. Folks, Middlebury Community Schools, a top achieving school district. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
Always great to work with those folks over there in Middlebury. Evler, nice pitch to Modulin, but Modulin had the hole close up on him quickly, and we'll see if he got to the first down marker. I don't believe he did. It'll be 4th and short. Or excuse me, 3rd and short. Kyler Hypley on the tackle.
Modulin with 28 yards rushing tonight. Leading rusher for NorthRidge has been their quarterback, Evler, with 61. That includes a couple of sacks.
3rd and 1 from the NorthRidge 43. The Raiders trailing 63-30. Evler Quarterback keeper has the first down up to the 46. Couple more finals to pass along. Warsaw has defeated Goshen 35-0. Plymouth over Wawasee 28-14.
65 yards now rushing tonight for Evler. Folks, if you had a crazy week, let Dutch Cleaning Service take care of your cleaning for you. Offering business and residential cleaning one time or on a schedule. Dutch Cleaning Service now hiring. Visit them on Facebook to find out more. That's Dutch Cleaning Service.
Now Evler hands it off. And on the carry that time, Modglin picked up maybe a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9.
First State Bank is proud to offer School Spirit debit cards to students, and they've donated over $100,000 to local schools. Contact them for all your mortgage needs. They offer competitive and customizable mortgage products to help you reach your dreams of home ownership. Learn more online. Visit Safe and Secure at Be First Bank. BeFirst.bank.
Evler on the keeper, knocked down after a pickup of 1. And it'll be 3rd down and 8.
Our thanks to Marian University in Indianapolis for sponsoring our broadcast tonight. Marian University, a great Catholic university in a great American city.
Absolutely. The Knights, another strong team in Indiana college football, just at a different level than we're used to dealing with up around these parts. Fine NAIA program. Here's a bad snap. Evler looking for room to run, and there's nothing around him but black jerseys. 4 black jerseys waiting for him. When he finally got back to the ball, Jake Lone was there, Nick Bontrager, among the others.
We'll go as a sack, but it's a 7-yard loss.
And now Nolan Laughlin on to try the punt, sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. Good punt, chasing Kyle Sellers back and away from the ball. It'll be touched at the 24-yard line. And that's where NorthWood will go to work with 2:22 to go in this one, and they will probably just ask for the check.
You know, Chuck, I'm looking at my stat sheet again. I think that is that the second punt of the night? Yep, second punt of the night. Both of them in the second half for NorthRidge, because they went for it. On 4th down in the ball game, they were 7 out of 10 on 4th down conversions tonight.
And you've got something to say about Stutzman Power Equipment?
No, they called and they said nobody's watching this late at
Hey,
night.
come on now.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. 1st down and 10 now for NorthWood.
New quarterback in the game. All kinds of new personnel in the game, and you can tell on the first play there's a loss of 4.
One of the things I was going to point out, Chuck, is that our main man tonight, Bronson Yoder, was about 3 yards away from getting to 1,000. I'm not sure he's going to carry the ball anymore tonight, so they may have to wait till the next game. Maybe he'll be able to put that on the board against Memorial.
I think he's done. Joe S. Miller was the ball carrier that time. As you see some of the new faces in the game. Cooper Weens in at quarterback, 5'10" freshman. He'll get a chance to take a varsity snap tonight. Hands it off, and not much room to run here, but NorthWood not concerned.
Folks, get all your outdoor projects done with tools and equipment sold and serviced locally by Stutzman Power Equipment, specializing in Kubota, Steel, Toro, Simplicity, and Skag. Check out their website at stutzmanpower.com. Stutzman Power Equipment, where service is their #1 product, and they're proud to support high school athletics. Appreciate all the support we've gotten from the folks, both communities, Middlebury and Napanee.
No, it's always great to come down here, and it's one of the reasons we come down here frequently is because of the community support that we get. Here's another handoff for NorthWood.
Oh.
Taylor Wiggin carries the football, and Wiggin.
Flag partner, that's going to just stall this drive, I'm afraid.
Well, the problem is it stops the clock.
Final score in New Prairie, winner over South Bend Adams tonight, 35-14.
We'll see the Cougars next Friday night at Penn. And in that game, Chris Mays ran for over 250 yards for New Prairie. He is a dynamic part of a duo along with Chase Ketterer that should be fun to watch against that Penn defense.
Looking forward to that one.
Riley over South Bend Clay tonight by a count of 45-10. So Jarvis Edison's team picks up another win. And this should be the final snap of the football game. 3rd and 20 back at the 13.
Nice to see the kids get a chance to get out there and get some snaps.
Weems drops the snap, hands it off to Taylor Wiegand, and Wiegand is tackled after about a 3-yard pickup, and that'll do it from Jim Andrews Field on the campus of NorthWood High School. This Elkhart County rivalry, the 46th renewal of it, goes to the NorthWood Panthers as they beat their foes from Middlebury, the NorthRidge Raiders, by a final score of 63-30. Stick around. The R. Yoder Construction postgame show is next, including all of our features. 63-30, NorthWood over NorthRidge on the 46th game of the week.
The WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by
a defensive coach's nightmare tonight at Andrews Field in Napanee. Number 2 Northwood, though, looked the part of the number 2 team of the state as they demolished NorthRidge 63-30 on the game of the week. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray. Northwood, our first look at them this year, and they were impressive.
They were impressive, and so was NorthRidge. In spite of all the injuries they've had in the last couple of weeks, they showed up, they got off the bus, they put their chin straps on pretty tight, and they went after it. But Northwood, the better team here tonight, and there was a couple of reasons why, and one of them not hard to explain to Mr. Yoder.
No, he's standing by. Our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise player of the game is with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Bronson Yoder. Bronson, not a whole lot you didn't do out here.
Yeah, I just, it's give all the credit to my O-line, the other guys on my team. They're the real reasons why I can do what I can do, and yeah.
Couple rushing touchdowns, a receiving touchdown, an interception for a touchdown. You threw a touchdown, but yeah, you needed all those because you had a team across the field that didn't give up.
Correct. Yeah, they fought the whole game. They played tough, and it's always a tough game with them. It's always a great rivalry, and we love playing them.
Top 2 ranking on the year. You guys are undefeated. Just thoughts on this year compared to where you guys were last year at this time?
Well, last year was great. I mean, I loved the team. I loved everyone that was on the team, obviously. This year, our cohesiveness, our togetherness, it's more evident. And I truly believe that's what makes us better.
You guys got some tough games coming up, kind of the gauntlet of your guys' schedule. Just thoughts on the remaining schedule?
We're going to take every week, 1 week at a time. We're going to go 1-0, and we're just going to focus on the next one. So.
One other thing, you received a couple kicks. You can't return those for touchdowns either?
I can't do everything, but, yeah, I don't know.
Congratulations on being our player of the game.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Bo's the only person to throw Bronson Yoder for a loss tonight.
I tell you what. Of course, Bo used to do some of that stuff back in his day, and I think he really admired Bronson Yoder's performance tonight, which wasn't hard to do. Newcomer was outstanding. They had a lot of other players, and again, the Oliver Eveler performance by NorthRidge gives them a lot of hope for the games to come.
Bronson Yoder also supplying our electrifying play of the game, sponsored by the electrical workers of Local 153, making our community brighter. And Yoder making things brighter for Northwood right before halftime. NorthRidge on a scoring drive, not with Mr. Yoder back there. He'd go 85 yards with this interception return for the pick 6. That was one of his 4 touchdowns on the night as Northwood wins this one by a count of 63-30. we'll see them again in 2 weeks against Warsaw for what looks like the Northern Lakes Conference title.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. And I'll tell you what, Bart Curtis, again, probably watch this game and we'll watch it over again. You see all the different weapons. You see the timing plays. You see all the execution that was so good for Northwood for most of the game. They did have the 2 turnovers right back to back that wound up being 14 points for Northridge. But other than that, they were pretty tight. Kicking game was really good.
So the fans are headed for the exits, and so are we, but not without thanking our TV46 crew who brought you this one, led by the happy Cleveland Browns fan, Joe Fratina, who had a victory Friday today and had help from our usual cast of characters downstairs. Some guys learning some new positions tonight. It was everybody's on hand and their effort that helped bring you this one on TV46. A reminder that Saturday we have college football on Pulse FM with Purdue and Boston College at noon, Indiana and Michigan State at 7:30, and then next Friday night, a head knocker in the NIC as the Penn Kingsmen, ranked number 3 in the state, take on the 9th-ranked New Prairie Cougars. You'll see it Friday night 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Now for my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt. Chuck Freeby, the final score, Northwood 63, NorthRidge 30. So long from the skyline of Napanee.